What's up, guys? Sorry about that. 16 minutes late. I mean, really just killing it. Killing it on the return here. Voice cracking. I had my contacts in backwards, and I was like, man, I really can't see. I haven't been able to see since I put my contacts in today. Something's not right. So I flipped them around, and we're good. Sarah just got home. She had some note cards she had to write for the blind flight tonight, which are over here. So we figured that out because she got home late. Like, she got home at like 9:02. So it was just a little race to the finish there. But we're doing this thing. I don't even have the background music going yet. So let's get that going. We have a lot to talk about. We have giveaways to do. We got all sorts of stuff tonight. We got a lot of whiskey to taste. First impressions, blind flight, the whole bit. So this is going to be a great stream this evening. Tomorrow I don't have to necessarily be super functional. I'm not trying to get crazy tonight, but we can hang out for a little bit. I've got to go out and get some nice clothes to wear for my sister's wedding this weekend, which is a very weird thing for me to say. And then tomorrow I've got a friend Frank coming over to the house, which I'm very excited about. Still not super hospitable here in the old basement studio, but we're gonna crack open a Springbank 30 year and an old Pulteney 25, plus a bunch of other Scotch samples that John, who's in the chat, sent. So we're gonna have some fun tonight. So let's do a little background music to start. We'll start with the easy jazz playlist, the elevator music. All right, so hit that like button on your way in. Sorry for being late. People, have you showered and changed since yesterday? No. Justin, the answer is no. Although yesterday when I was on here, I had just gotten out of the shower. So it's like, as soon as this stream ends tonight, I'm gonna go take a shower because I'm feeling gnarly. It's only 9 o'clock, so I gotta keep it cool till 10. Then I can say what I really think. What else? Let me throw a little banner action up because we do have some giveaways. Is it in here? Yes. Every $5 super chat gives you one giveaway entry for, here we go. This is what we're giving away tonight. A half bottle of hot chocolate, which is 13-year Barton 149 proof shorty. Boom. So this is the giveaway. We'll talk about it here in just a second. I got to get something in my glass. So it's not the first time I've consumed alcohol today. I did a little quick tasting on Discord with some buddies earlier, checking out a sample of a really cool MGP mash bill that not a lot of people have tried at 12 years old and at 126 proof. So a really cool single barrel. We checked that out earlier, but I can't, it's not my place to spill the beans on that one. Might probably not smell great. Dude, listen, I threw a little extra deodorant on, but yeah, probably not great. Oak Tree, James, what's up, man? Just pulling up. Just got my samples today. Yeah, I saw they were delivered. I'm glad they made it all right. What is up, Sam? Okay, so here's the dealio. I'll remind people as we get going into here, but this next part that I'm going to say is not in the banner at the bottom. If you are not a Patreon member, so Patreon members, you guys are not eligible for this. We're going to do our own thing in Patreon, okay? And I'll plug the Patreon later. But if you are not a Patreon member, if you're just here in the public, you watch the channel sometimes or maybe frequently, not recently though, we're going to give away 2 bottles for free. This is not like a super chat thing. This is just at the end of the night. I'm going to turn the form off, accepting entries, and, you know, we're going to give these away. So I'll email you the winners. We'll just run a randomizer at the end. It's not a pay-to-play thing. Completely free. It's just 2 bottles of a 6.5-year Calvados, which is basically apple brandy. Calvados finished rye from Dark Arts. 6.5-year Green River 95.5. So it's a rye mash bill that not a lot of people have tried from Green River. Maybe from Bardstown, maybe from MGP. But Green River 95.5 doesn't show up super often in my experience. So we're going to give 2 of those away completely free with a sample of a 148 proof 13-year Barton Shorty. It had 31 bottles come out of this barrel. Nanny Raspberry's Very, Very Cheesecake. So you'll get the bottle. You'll get a sample of this. Totally free. It is not for Patreon members. You just need your name and email address. Please no duplicate entries. I'll sort the list at the end of the stream. Do a quick little audit as best I can. Please no duplicate entries. I would appreciate that, guys. And then for the folks who do want to super chat $5, you know how it goes. Venmo, PayPal. That's in the description, or you can do super chats live on the screen. I'm giving away half bottles of what I think is the best barrel pick we've ever done. 50 bottle shorty, 13-year Barton, 149 proof, called Hot Chocolate. The labels are coming in for these tomorrow for these half bottles, but it's already poured out and ready to go. 2 winners tonight for that. We're done with all that crap. All right. We'll remind you guys throughout the stream. Cheers, Eagle Rare 12. Let me know what's in your glass this evening. I needed that. Can my wife enter? Please no, Mike. Guys, please, honor system. If I had someone help me with the stream tonight, I would have them vet everything, or we would have some procedure for this. But I would really, really appreciate it if you just use your name, your one email address. Let's keep it fair for everybody. All right. I charged my mouse today, and it's telling me that I have no charge on it still. So, don't exactly know what's going on with this. Maybe, let's see. Nope. It says your mouse is wirelessly connected. It keeps telling me I'm at 0%, even though it's been plugged in all day. So I might be having to get a new mouse here. Yeah, it's not jiving. Okay. No worries on that. No, 3%. Okay, so we'll just roll with the trackpad this evening. All right, guys. So I'm going to catch up on the chat just real quick. I'm not going to look at any of the beginning stuff when you're guessing when it's going to start. Technical difficulties. Can we bet on this on Kalshi? Isn't Kalshi going to have like a lawsuit or something? Brandon, shut up. You all lose. I knew I had time to walk the dog. All right, we're going to keep scrolling down. So yeah, I got a Heaven Hill 22 today. Should be here next Tuesday. It's coming from Montana. And didn't have to pay the highest price I saw all day, so that's good. Okay. Let's go ahead and clear this list so I can get ready for super chats. Beautiful. All right. If you could only get one bottle from tomorrow's drop. So by the way, tonight on this stream, you guys saw the thumbnail. We're going to go through some new bottles. Some of them, I don't know why I haven't gone through on a stream already, like the Elijah Craig A126 Rye. I thought I had tasted that on a stream, and I probably have for Patreon. Obviously, you haven't seen any content from me recently. We're getting back to it this week, finally. Things are turning around, which is great. I'm in a much better place just with work and with everything else. But I don't remember doing A126. So if you guys have seen me do A126 publicly, please let me know. But I went back through some old streams, like the last 2, and I was like, I don't think I've tasted this. We're going to do that. We're going to do the Barrel Cigar Blend, which I'm actually pretty excited about. Barrel, these guys are great at finishing. Some of their stuff doesn't hit for me. The tasting notes online are hilarious, but they know how to finish stuff. The Bernheim we're going to get into, the 10-year. We've got this, which kind of flying under the radar right now, but this is the Knob Creek Blenders Edition. Shout out to Austin for helping me get that. And then whatever else was on the thumbnail. Oh, the King of Kentucky small batches. They're in sample bottles. That's why I'm not looking at them obviously right now. Yeah, so that's what we're doing in tonight's stream. If you guys want to see some comparisons, let me know. And we will get into the blind tasting at some point. I don't know if we'll do it in the middle or the end of the stream. We'll kind of find out. But shout out to Zach from the Discord for sending these blind samples. We've got 5 blind samples for tonight's tasting. If you can only get one bottle from tomorrow's drop, which one would you get? I don't know. Probably one of the ryes, to be honest. I mean, these 13-year ryes that we're dropping tomorrow from Circle City, we have one called Walter and one called Heisenberg. Insane. So read the tasting notes on those and pick your favorite rye. If you don't want rye, best of every world is probably the 9-year Elkwood, because it's $90 and the profile's crazy on it. Dark Arts is the bomb. Sipping on some snort cake. Nice. All right, Dustin, thank you for the super chat. All right, so what should we start with tonight, guys? Dustin Klosterhoff in for 2 says, cheers. Thank you so much, man. And then Austin, Whiskey Rambler. Ooh, computer is freaking out. Austin Shirley in for 10. Thank you, bro. Jeez. Austin said, congrats on your multiple wins tonight, Adam. Adam did win today. Adam had a baby today. Everybody say congrats to Adam. He's definitely not in here tonight. He's got bigger fish to fry. But Adam had his second kid today. So, well, he didn't. Well, maybe he did. Who knows? Detling's 7-year ride just showed up. Are you going to crack it tonight? I know you're kidding, Mike. I know. But I do have to say it for everybody else. Daniel Venmo sent. Good to have you live again. Balcones single malt. Oh, dude, 68 ABV on a Balcones single malt. And Balcones does make good single malt because Lineage is really good. I think that's a single malt, not just like some other kind of malt whiskey. I think that is a single malt, but I'm sure if that's anything like Lineage and if it's at that proof, I bet it's good. However, what's the one that they do that's like, that tastes like a rubber tire? Oh God, I can't remember what it is. You guys know what I'm talking about? The Balcones that's like, it's like heavily peated or smoked or something, and it's just god-awful, at least for me. Swagstar says, cheers all, thank you. Get you in here for 4 entries, appreciate that. Justin's drinking Talisker 18. A man after my heart. We do video review on the Heaven Hill 22, absolutely. It looks like that's dropping all over the place today, which is cool. Brandon, thank you so much, man. Brandon Smith in for 10. Thanks, bro. Cheers. All right, let's get into something while these, I know the super chats are coming in, but let's start with the Knob Creek. We're going to start right here, Knob Creek Blenders Edition. And you know what I haven't done for this is I haven't looked this up online. Like I haven't looked for press releases or any info. So I'm going to do that here in just a second. But I will tell you the stats first and kind of give you a rundown on what info is actually on the bottle, which yesterday I learned is more than normal Knob Creek has. So that's kind of cool. 106 proof. Where does it say that? Yeah, 53% ABV for this. So a little proof bump over the standard 100 proof that we get from Knob Creek. 10-year age statement. It's $40. Looks like they're going to do more of these because this is Blenders Edition 1. So who knows if they maintain the same proof and age statement for each, or maybe they're gonna vary that from batch to batch. And then on the side label here, you actually get, see if you can see that, you get the little diagram with like the different, you know, flavors and oak, char, smoked caramel, vanilla, sweet spice, fruit, floral. It gives you a breakdown of that on their little graph. And then it says underneath, compared to the caramel and char of the classic 9-year bourbon, this expression has confectionery notes from specially selected barrels. So whether that's cooperage, char level, whatever the case may be to make them special. It says enjoy vanilla and warm oak. So there you go. Little, you know, line extension from Knob Creek, which is basically the entire business strategy of Jim Beam at this point, is just make more SKUs and just flood the market with SKUs. It's fine because I like Jim Beam. I like him quite a bit. All right, so let's get into this while I try to desperately catch up on super chats here. Yeah, I mean, so I tasted some of these things for Patreon yesterday, so you guys will hear some of the same notes, but this has as a foundation the same kind of cardboard nutty oak that you get on anything in this age range from Knob Creek, whether it's the 7-year rye. Even the 10-year rye has that note, and I think the standard 9-year bourbon. You get this like cardboard nutty oak underline to the entire thing. By the time you get to 12 years old, you get to Knob Creek 12, that changed. It's kind of gotten into leather. It's got a little bit more of that Rickhouse funk to it. But here at 10 years old, it still has a little bit of that, you know, aggressive, again, cardboard is the best way I can put it, or brown bag or something like that. But then on top of it, I'm going to agree with them on this. This is a disproportionately sweet version of Knob Creek. And just to test that, I have a half bottle of the standard 9-year over here. Let me grab it real quick. Okay. So let's do a little side-by-side just to kind of start the night off. Yeah, they definitely smell different just off the neck there. So on your left is going to be the standard 9-year, and on your right is going to be the new Blenders Edition release. Color-wise, Yep, slightly darker, like half a shade darker on the new one, which is cool. Slightly older, slightly higher proof. Mark says it's the best value of 26. Let's find out. Mr. Kaplan, I want to call you J Cap. In for 10, thank you, man. Says, hey Cam, this one is for the MasterCard. Also, congrats, Adam. Yeah, thanks, man. This is the Heaven Hill 22 fund from today. Love it. All right. Super chat for, let's see, how many entries? 4. Cheers, Cam. Thank you so much. Venmo sent. Curtis, I'll get to the Venmos, I promise, in a second. Oh, Brimstone. Balcones Brimstone. That stuff. I was down in Waco. I think that's where Balcones is out of, right? Waco? I was down there in early 2020, right before COVID, and I was playing at Baylor. So I was doing like a solo concert and then a master class at Baylor. And after the show, I went to like some bar down there. Oh, it was a hotel bar, actually. And I'm like, hey, you know, what do you recommend? I was pretty early on in whiskey at that point. And they're like, oh, we've got the thing for you. Because I said I like smoky scotch. And they poured me Balcones Brimstone. And I was like, this just tastes like melting plastic. It was so disgusting. And I couldn't get that taste out of my mouth for the rest of the night. Thank you, Mike G, for gifting those memberships. Guys, not all Balcones, not all Texas whiskey tastes that bad. I mean, Brimstone was like uniquely terrible. Wings and Whiskey in for 1, thank you. Says, Cam, I'm excited to try the Heaven Hill 22. Almost excited to see what you put in your... Whoa. You're going to make me blush, dude. Jesus. It's not 10 p.m. yet. Wait on those. There's Daniel. Thankfully, haven't had it. Their single malts can be really good. This one is a single barrel pick. That's cool. All right. Before we get to this next super chat, side by side on the nose. So the standard 9-year has a little bit more of like a watery, just straight up watery caramel, watery oak kind of nose. Still has that kind of cardboard thing in the background for sure. Oh yeah, it's, I'm telling you, it's a pretty remarkable difference for this new one. Let me know in the chat if you guys have tried this. So much better on the nose. Amazing what 1 year and 6 proof points and barrel selection will do. I think this is honestly more of a testament to just showing the difference in either barrel selection or cooperage or char, whatever is the difference truly here. So let me taste the standard release. And I'm going to pull up. Dude, honestly, Knob Creek 9-year, pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. I don't care. I like Jim Beam a lot, though. Knob Creek Blenders Edition. Batch 1 info. All right, let's see what we get. Any kind of press release, maybe. Date of birth. Okay. I keep hearing email dings. I think that's probably Venmo's coming through. Thank you guys if you are contributing. All right, Blenders Edition Batch 1 marks the first release in a new limited series dedicated to the craft behind every bottle. Created by, okay. Showcase vision of bold, full flavored bourbon, whatever. Okay, that absolutely, like that's 2 paragraphs that say nothing. Here's some tasting notes. I don't care about those. I just want to know. Yeah, they don't tell you anything about the actual, what makes it different, if it's the cooperage or not. So, Austin, find out for us, please. We have someone here that works at Jim Beam. All right, let's taste this now. Wow. I mean, it's funny because there's actually less spice on this in some ways than there is on the 9-year at the lower proof. And I think it's because these barrels are so much sweeter and richer that even though you have 6 extra proof points, you've just got all this roundness to the profile that you don't get on the 9-year. I cannot, if you're in the market for a $40 bottle and you don't hate Jim Beam, because this does taste like Beam. Like, you're not going to get away from the Beam profile on this one. But if you like Beam profile and you're in the market for a $40 bottle, this is like the easiest purchase, in my opinion. It's the new daily sipper over the 9-year for sure if you're looking at the 9-year as an option, on your shelf frequently. Wow. Jason, I just bought two $20 Super Chats, but it's not pulling up in this feed. If it's not in the feed, then you didn't buy them, Jason. I've seen issues before, but if I don't see it in the feed, then it just didn't go through. Because I've had this happen before, and I've gone back and looked to see if it went through for somebody else, and it never did. All right. I'm going to just put screen names in here. So this is Jason P98 in for 4. Thank you so much. I hate that it shows us the screen names only. Adam is still going to watch in the hospital. I hope he doesn't. Don, let me get you in here. Don P in for 4. Thank you, Don. Mark said Blenders is way under the radar. I kind of agree now. Beam won my heart with the old Overholt 12-year. Me too, and then I put it in blinds and it got murdered. So I don't think that's a bottle that blinds particularly well. I think it's probably the proof, really, and the proof and then the profile itself is kind of in like this middle ground all the way across. It's not super rye forward, definitely more of like a bourbon drinker's rye. And so I think you kind of lose some of the like nuance of the whiskey when you have it blind and you don't know that you're drinking a 12-year beam rye. I think like the information and the context of having that makes that rye taste better because you know what you think it should taste like, and then you get this other experience and you're like, that's pretty cool. So I think that's a whiskey that suffers in blinds for that reason. Cameron is in for 1. Thank you, dude. Indeed, Heaven Hill 22 dropped here in Wyoming too. I told myself I'd wait till my wedding in June, but it's going to be tough. Just try to find another one, and then you can crack one first. Thanks to the super chat, Michael Phelps. In for 4. Need some hot chocolate and looking forward to tomorrow's drop. Thank you, man. Me too. Adam, hey, Adam, I forgot to say thank you for the onesie, dude. That showed up the other day. Also, I spilled wood stain all over one of my hoodies again. I keep ordering more hoodies, and those are all for me because I keep staining the shit out of them. So I'm going to place another order here tomorrow or something. Okay, so let's move on now from the Knob Creek. I'm going to keep, especially this Blenders edition, I'm going to keep it poured out because I think it'll be a good comparison to what I'm going to sip next, which is this Bernheim. I've tasted this Bernheim already, but I haven't really sat down and like compared it to things and really spent time with it. So let me know if you've tried this one. I think the price was like $85 maybe for this 20th anniversary. It is small batch. It appears to be proofed down because I don't see barrel proof on it anywhere. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's proof to 115. Any other info we need to know? Nope. I think that's it. I think the stats kind of speak for this one. Tom Lonzo, thank you, bro. Get you in here for 10. In for 10 says, what does it take for this man to bring back Scotch Sundays? It's coming, dude, because I've spent way too much money on Scotch recently. I dumped my bottle of Lineage down the drain. Oh, really? See, I kind of liked Lineage. It had a lot of overripe fruit notes, but for what it was, I thought it was pretty cool. Travis, I saw that. Here we go. Drinking it right now. I think this is in reference to the Knob Creek. Get gingerbread on the nose. I could see that. I could see gingerbread. And it's much sweeter on the palate than 9. I think so too. $40. Very solid. I'm gonna keep scrolling down, guys. Apologize if I miss you. How does the Knob Creek Blenders... Oh, this is Jesse. What's up, man? As I smell this Bernheim, 10 years, 115. Keep those stats in mind as we go through this. I'll answer Jesse here. How does the Knob Creek Blenders compare to Knob 12? Knob 12 is still worth the upcharge because the Blenders doesn't have any of the same oak profile. The Blenders edition has like the Canton barrel oak. I said that yesterday on the Patreon stream. I'll continue to not even really speculate, but if I had to take a guess on the cooperage, which I'm probably way off, it just tastes like Canton barrels. It has that Canton barrel sweetness. But there's none of the aged oak on it that you get from Knob Creek 12, which to me is like maybe the most perfect age for oak in the Knob Creek lineup is 12. 15 doesn't really work for me for some reason. Those need to be a higher proof, like the single barrels. The 18 I like for sure. 21 I think is great, but like that's $250. So of the other bottles, 12 is the sweet spot of oak. Blender's Edition, that's more of like the, sweet tooth, everyday, affordable kind of profile. So I think they definitely satisfy two different purposes, I guess. Two different purposes. Slat, I too bought $300 worth of entries, wink, wink. Do I just hit the Venmo with 5 to get entered? Yeah. And please, if you guys are going to PayPal or Venmo, don't write like whiskey giveaway. Please write your super chat comment, or like if you don't want to write anything, just put a little emoji in there, I think the blenders came and went. Well, that'd be surprising if it sold out that fast, but I don't know where you're at. Austin is the head of counter terror at Chimpy. Oh, Sam, that's funny. All right, let's get back to it. What's up, Colin? Dude, sorry, bro. 2 months off just for no reason. Slat brings up Scotch Sunday comment and just... No, I talked to Tom. I'm probably way behind in the chat, though. Okay. Blender's been on the market for like 60 hours practically. Seems a little soon to call it under the radar. That's probably true, Slad. But also no one talks about value bottles anyway other than to complain about early times. That's funny. All right, so on to this Bernheim. It's funny because the nose is like very similar to the Knob Creek and in the sweetness factor. Not necessarily the overall profile of that Knob Creek still having that base nutty cardboard oak thing that I talked about. Like the Bernheim doesn't have that, but it has the same style of sweetness, that same kind of like vanilla forward, almost Canton barrel like sweetness. And if you want to try Canton barrels like what I'm talking about, I think Onyx and Amber had some 10-year high rye MGP barrels that were in Canton, Cooperage. I tried some of those. I hate to push a rare character product on here, but the HRC, which I haven't tried any of them, but if they're the same things that Onyx and Amber got, the HRC code is high rye Canton. And you can just, and also the Old Charter Finest Oak, which is a little harder to find from Buffalo Trace, you can taste what a Canton barrel sweetness is like, what I'm talking about. I think Canton barrel sweetness might become more known over time because it seems like more people are kind of using them and talking about those barrels. In the same way that like Kelvin barrels, we all talk about Kelvin barrels because they add that dark color, that really heavy oak, cola, rich dark fruit influence. You might see the same thing on the other side of the coin, which is Canton, basically the opposite profile of a Kelvin barrel. I'll be curious to see how that goes over the next year or two. Blender's still a good buy at $70. I don't know about 70. I mean, I don't think you should pay up for it because it should be available at 40, Tom, did I not address what you said? Did I not? I said something about Scotch Sunday. Soon. I said soon. It's the cop-out. It's the political cop-out answer. Okay. The Bernheim, listen. There's nothing special about this on the nose. Is there fruit here? Maybe. Maybe like a peach cobbler thing. Yeah, I think that's kind of where it settles. There's no red fruit to me on the nose, no strawberry, definitely no cherry. There's nothing dark about this. This is more in like a baked goods, French patisserie, it's in that realm of sweetness. So it's not bad, but it's not special. Is it an $85 bottle on the nose? Sure, no higher than $85. All right. I actually really like the profile on the palate. Again, very just standard stuff. Kind of like Heaven Hill 90th to me. Not like a one-to-one comparison, but the idea is the same, where it's like I taste it and I go, okay, it's good, but why is this a special release? Like, it doesn't taste, there's nothing about it that's special. I didn't think the Heaven Hill 90th was anything particularly whatever. I don't think this Bernheim is either. Now, the thing this suffers from is just the style of whiskey that it is, which is wheat whiskey. It just evaporates on your palate. It's gone. So you get a flash of flavor up front. You get like a little tinge of a mid-palate experience, and then the thing is just gone. And I'm left right now only feeling the slightest hint of flavor on the sides of my tongue. The rest of my tongue, from tip all the way to the back, and you can clip that, there's nothing going on. Is Adam in here? Oh, dude, Adam's in here. Dad part 2. All right, Matthew Evans, let me get you in here. We're almost caught up on Super Chats in the main feed. And I'll remind everybody about the giveaway in a little bit, because it is a pretty cool giveaway. Check the description of the video. If you're not a Patreon member, there's a free giveaway separate from the one with the Super Chats for some Dark Arts Calvados Finished Rye. Just check that. I'm just telling you right now, it's going to shut off at the end of the stream. Matthew Evans, welcome back. Thanks for the review of the Blenders Edition, picking one up this weekend. I think you're going to enjoy it, man. Especially like if you enjoy Knob Creek, if you enjoy, you know, bottles that aren't all $250 or something. Like if you're down for a daily sipper experience at an elevated level, it's going to be great. Thanks for the super chat, man. Dustin, can't find the Bernheim here, but would love to compare to Star Hill Farms. Let's do it. Actually, I don't have the room organized yet over there, so I'm going to give it 20 seconds to see if I can find Star Hill, which actually it might be on this shelf behind me. It is, yes, because this was a 25 release. So all the 25 releases are still on this shelf behind me. This is going to be very different, Dustin, than the Bernheim. So I think at this point, there will be probably zero similarities on the palate as far as the flavors, but I think we can talk about like quality of whiskey and drinking experience, because the proofs are almost identical. Bernheim's 115, Star Hill is 114.7. Bernheim is 10 years old. Star Hill is 8 and 9 years old. So very, very comparable. Stone Cold Steve says, how do we go about sending you samples for the 2026 blind box? The samples, those will be like What's That Whiskey samples, and on live streams and stuff like that. Not necessarily 2026 reviews. Those all come from me when I'm doing like the review blind samples. But just email me or DM me. Probably email me is a little bit better. drumsanddrams@gmail.com, and we can connect there, man. Because I actually do need to get some more samples going for the content that's going to come soon. Unfortunately, I didn't think that Bernheim was any better than the normal barrel proofs. Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, if you just want a higher proof, higher octane experience, the other barrel proofs are just going to be better. This is just fine whiskey. There's nothing special about it. So Stone Cold Steve, let me get you in here. Put you in Stone Cold in for one. Heyo. Tried to find a second. Heaven Hill 20 State likely got less than 30 bottles, but I won't give up that easy. Yeah, keep scouring, dude. Thoughts on the Pulteney 25? I don't know. We're opening it tomorrow, so that's not cracked yet. All right, Star Hill, which I liked last year. Probably my favorite Maker's product maybe ever besides Dusty's, because Maker's doesn't do it for me normally, and the last great one I thought was the 2023 Cellar Aged, and even then, I'm not like clamoring about that bottle. I think the Star Hill at the price point, a little more availability than the Cellar Aged, maybe even overall profile too, I think I just like the best. Yeah, it's got like really nice like candied red apple notes, a little bit of a strawberry shortcake vibe. These are typical Maker's notes, but this doesn't have that Maker's dairy thing. That yogurt note or whatever, spoiled milk that I get on most other products. So then back to the Bernheim. Yeah, the Bernheim is just more classically Heaven Hill, nutty, caramel. A lot more brown sugar, I would say, than maybe typical Heaven Hill bourbon. I think because this is a wheat whiskey, it's leaning more into that brown sugar. So it's kind of like a peanut butter and jelly combo here, going side by side, like almost like strawberry jelly and a little peanut butter and wheat bread thing. So let's take a sip again of the Bernheim first. And I like the flavor up front. It's got that pastry sweetness, you know? Like you're at a bakery and you're, I don't know, getting some sort of like very sweet pastry. But it's gone. It's completely gone now. So let's go over to the Star Hill. Yeah, you're just dealing with classic pie crust, brown sugars, fruit. Tons and tons of fruit. And vanilla, too, on the Star Hill. My cat is down here. She's trying to decide what she wants to do. Lucy. All right, she's out. So the Star Hill Farm has less of a flavor pop up front. It's more like this the entire way, but it's a much longer finish. Even though there is less spice at the front of the palate, I like the fact that it's more even keeled in the drinking experience from front to back. It doesn't just fade away. So for me, the easy winner, even though I love Heaven Hill, I love the base Heaven Hill profile, there's just nothing special about the Bernheim, and Star Hill is the easy winner. If you don't like fruity whiskeys, you know, you might not like the Star Hill, but I think this was pretty universally enjoyed last year. So I'll put this up here. We'll put the Bernheim up here too. Between the Bernheim and the Knob Creek, I would rather have the Knob Creek Blenders Edition, and it's half the price and probably much better availability. There's no reason to buy that Bernheim. Mike, thank you for the super chat, man. Let me get you in before I read it out. And for 10, appreciate that, dude. Remembering my father-in-law who passed a few weeks ago, Kentucky gentleman who got me into bourbon long ago. All right. I'll take a sip for your father-in-law, man, in his memory. So I'm sorry to hear that. Hope you guys are, you know, especially your wife, hope you guys are doing okay. So cheers. With the star of the show tonight, which is Knob Creek Blenders Edition so far. Adam, when's the drop? Tomorrow. Yeah, guys, hey, we're dropping shameless plug. If you want to join the Patreon, $5 or $10 a month. Tomorrow, things are going to make it to the $5 tier, I think. But the $10 tier will have their choice of pretty much anything except maybe one of the short barrels. I don't know if that's going to sell out in the 25s or not. But we're dropping 5 barrels tomorrow. The tasting notes are in the Patreon. If you end up joining and you want to read them, they're in the spreadsheet that we have in the Patreon of all of our barrel picks. But let me do like a little 60-second ad spot for it real quick, and then we'll change the slow jazz music off to another generic playlist. We're dropping one of the first River Roots Kentucky light whiskeys from Green River, 144 proof, 8 years old, and look at the color on this light whiskey. It's not double-barreled. So these Kentucky light whiskeys, to me, blow the doors off of MGP light whiskey, which I don't really like. This one is like caramel corn, sugar cookies, cinnamon sugar, little bit of light fruit in here, and it's a monster on the palate. So there you go, there's that. We got these two. We got a 11-year, 66-bottle shorty, Barton. That's going to probably sell out. So, you know, in the upper tiers. It's a pretty cool profile. It's not like a lot of the high-proof Barton on the market right now because this is only 129. 130 proof, 9-year Green River. Also dark as night, Kelvin barrel aged, and it's a very off-profile barrel. Fruit monster, salted caramel, and then this kind of like savory layer. And then finally, the two ryes I talked about earlier. We have Heisenberg, which is a semi-short barrel, 13-year rye, 132 proof. And then we have Walter, which is 140 bottles. There, it's the focus. 130 proof. One of them is super dark and funky and weird, and the other one is just like a amazing, you know, kind of down the middle rye profile that reminds me of Brook Hill, Las Palmas, and the Collection Tater Invader from River Roots. So there you go. That's a shameless plug for the Patreon. $5 or $10 a month. And we'll talk about the super chats and the giveaways here again in a second, but I want to get into some more whiskey. Scrolling down, Bernheim is super good on the palate, says Triggs. I just think it goes away too fast. I mean, but again, stylistically, it makes sense. Wheat whiskey is a lighter profile, but I don't see a reason to buy that bottle. And when there are just other options. Spacon coming in strong. French patisserie, slow down. It's not 10 p.m. yet. All right, let me keep scrolling down. I got to catch up. Buddy, I'm just here for the Zach blind. Let's get a move on. Do you guys want to do the blind next? What do you want to do next? King of Kentucky. We got to do the barrel. We got to do the Elijah Craig. We can get to the Elijah Craig at any point. What do you want to do next? And I'll scroll down and look. Dustin. I'll put you in as Dust 10 so I know it's different than the other Dustin. Heaven Hill 2.0 fun. Thank you, dude. Appreciate you. Michael Phelps in for another one. Let me go and edit your previous entry. Get you in for 5 now instead of 4. Thank you. Adam says, I spit out the Bernheim I had at Heaven Hill at the Bottle of Your Own. Wow. Was that like one of the Bottle of Your Own small batches? How much does Star Hills go for? I don't know. I think SRP is 100, but I'm not sure if there's a secondary on it. Triggs, I agree with this. The pricing on Heaven Hill 22 honestly gives me a little bit of hope. Adam says, where's the link, bro? Thank you. And why are you dropping $100 super chats? Adam's going to win the freaking giveaway. You just watch. Why are you dropping $100 super chats when you just had a baby earlier? You've done some of the baby can Kentucky already. Have I really? I don't think I've done all 3 batches, though. I was going to do all 3 tonight. Blind. All right, let's do the blind. I don't have any idea what Zach sent in this blind. So I'll show you guys the cards like I normally do. Now, he did tell me something funny. Zach said that he can't remember which one is in glass C. Like, there are 2 options. And so there's a C1 and a C2 here. So I'll show you both of them. And then at the end, the only way we're really going to know is if it's like very obvious to me which one of those it was. But I'm just going to go through this blind. I'm going to make some guesses as to what they are. We haven't done this in a long time. I'm very excited. Make some guesses as to what they are, and then I will, I'll pick favorites in here. Like I'll rank them 1 through 5 for my palate and what I think. So A, B, C1, C2, D, and E. Let me get some glasses. All right. And then the samples are over here. Hit that like button, guys, if you haven't already, please. Let's get a few more folks hanging out tonight. All righty. Sample A. Cheaters for the win, says Travis. Yes. Cheater glasses are the best glasses. It always warms my heart. Someone said this earlier in the Discord. I don't know who it was. I'm sorry. I can't remember who it was. They were like, yeah, I want to order some more glasses. That glass style has become my favorite one. That always warms my heart. Because I don't know. I went crazy for a while and I bought all these different glasses back in like 2021. I tested everything out. These kept winning on just basically all fronts. And recently I bought another round of like 10 different glass shapes from some Japanese retailer. And some of them are really cool, but they're still not as good as these. Plus the durability on those you can't really beat. And cheater glasses are great for your tiny hands. Okay, all right. Okay. I was really happy to see. Yes, we should mention this because this took me by surprise. I thought that was going to be another 90 proof product. But guys, the Elijah Craig 15 year that's coming out, which is a new single barrel release in the same bottle shape as the Elijah Craig 18, is going to be 108 proof. That's a plus, a positive from Heaven Hill for me. Slad putting Mike Ehrmantraut's voice in my head, perfect. I hear no jazz, says Daniel. It's like probably very much in the background. All right, I'll turn on a different playlist here. It shouldn't be super loud. I don't like when background music is crazy loud. Finally picked up a Stagg 25D last week. Blew my mind, 126 proof. I know some of these that you're tasting are similar. I consider myself lucky. Yeah, I've got to get back and taste this maybe tonight if we have time. Remind me. I'd love to retaste Stagg 25D. Everybody's raving about it, especially after the junkies hyped it up, and I want to see what that's all about. So I think I'm caught up. Please give me an all caps message if I missed your super chat in the live chat, not Venmo. I know I'm going to get to those, but I think I'm caught up in the live chat. All right. I don't have... Oh, I do. I do have notebooks next to me so I can write notes. Sweet. So I'm going to write the date, which is 3/19/26, Adam's son's birthday. Let's do A, B, C, D, E. This is Zach Blind. And I'm trying to guess age, proof, type, finished, distillery, and bottle. I think those are the things I normally guess here. So please no spoilers in the chat. I'm going to show you guys these cards. If it says Heaven Hill whatever, don't start talking about Heaven Hill, please. If it says Buffalo Trace, don't start talking about Eagle Rare, something that's adjacent. Just, you know, please no spoilers. I don't want to have to like mute anybody or have mods do something, whatever they can do about that. All right, here we go. Glass A. Turn my head. Okay, Glass A. I wonder how long Zach had these in the sample bottles, because this one's smelling a little bit tainted. Let me know if that didn't focus, please. I'm going to put it down now. The sample smells a little bit tainted. It's going to be not great if all of these are tainted samples. It's got a little bit of that plasticky glue smell. I don't think that one smells tainted. Because I thought he told me that he was going to send this like a while ago. Okay. No, Slad, these just got here yesterday. All right, first one. I think it is tainted. I got to get a taste of it first. Gone. That sample's gone. I can't taste anything except plastic. So, I'm not going to be able to make guesses on Glass A, unfortunately. I hope they're not all tainted. That's going to be really anticlimactic. It just tastes like plastic and glue. All right. On to Glass B. Let me just show you guys Glass B then. This one smells a lot better, a lot more clear. Like, one thing about when samples get tainted is that you lose the rest of the profile. Like, the rest of the profile just doesn't come through. It mutes all the normal notes and it just replaces it with, like, plastic. So let's see what Glass B is all about. They are polycones, John, sorry. They are polycones. All right. Damn, dude. That's gone too. All right. We're gonna bail on this blind tonight. Because it makes me feel like sick to my stomach when I drink tainted whiskey. Because it's like a chemical taste. That stinks. I'm not gonna look at the cards. I'll talk to Zach and maybe I hate to get back into his bottles and ask for more samples, but maybe I just don't know. I think these might have been poured out a while ago. I don't want to ask for more free whiskey from him. This was his, idea. He wanted to send this blind, but even Glass C is knocked out. Tell Zach not to sit on his samples for 6 months. I'm going to tell him now. What makes them taste like plastic? I don't really know in some of these cases, because usually if you get the sample bottles that have the polycones, they do better. Like, they last longer. If you get the ones that have the white foam liner on the top of the sample bottles, those things will taint the shit out of your whiskey very fast. And the reason, like the guess and check on that one, is if you just leave whiskey in one of those white foam topper bottles for long enough, it will literally, the alcohol vapors will eat away at that stuff and it will just fall into the sample bottle. That takes like 2 years, but it will happen. That lets me know that the interaction between the alcohol and whatever's above it, like there's something going on there. And I think even with a polycone, I think you still get some degree of that reaction. This one is a different type of sample bottle, Glass E. Let me see if this one's different, because the others are all the same type of bottle. No, this one's shot too. That one I can taste more of the whiskey for sure, but like it tastes like you're drinking chemicals. It's really gnarly. And everybody that I've had try whiskey that's tainted ends up agreeing. At first they're skeptical. But no, that's bad. That's really bad. Slad, where's my blind set I sent? Slad, I have one blind sample over here, and then the other set you sent is in a box over there somewhere. You want me to do one of your samples? I've never had a tainted Liquid Ministry sample for whatever reason. Never had one. Zach says they were in the bottles for like 2 weeks. Man, that's crazy. And let me ask you, did you rinse the bottles first? Because someone else's theory is that if you don't rinse the bottles, maybe there's residual something in there. So weird, man. This is a hot take, but probably a good take. The upcoming Elijah Craig 15 is the reason why ECBP hasn't been as good. I would totally see that being the case. Did any of the blinds make it in the move, Travis? I still haven't gone through all the samples, man. I have some behind me that I went through, but there are still boxes and bags over there. I can't believe Zach ruined the first content we get in months. Oh, I'm sorry. I got to take it out of the title of the video. Liquid Ministry says they pre-wash them 3 times before packaging. That could be part of it. I always rinse mine. Slad says go for it. You want me to do this one, Slad? Because this is the one I have in front of me. The other ones, oh. I think this is the other set that you sent, right? We may still be able to salvage the blind portion of this live stream yet. Although Sarah is asleep, so she can't write the cards for everybody to see. One's a Scotch set. I don't think this is the Scotch set. I don't think. Let me I can smell one of them and find out. Let me just do, Slad, what about doing your individual one? Or do you want to save that for a piece of content, which will happen? What do you think, bro? Joe, I also always say, rinse your samples, especially the cheap ones. Who knows what's going on in those manufacturing facilities? Yeah. But I don't even remember what I sent. Do whatever. I have to look up the pictures. All right, Slad, let's do this blind sample. You put question mark on it and 3/1/26. Let's do this one. So I'll take a few guesses as to what this is and give it a quick review here. I might have to start getting these Liquid Ministry bottles. I had some samples that I sat out I poured them, and there were some that didn't end up needing to go, needing to be sent. It's a long story. So they had been sitting for a few months, and I tasted them out of the sample bottles that I had poured them in down here, and they were completely fine. So I don't know. I mean, maybe it is washing the bottles. Okay, Slad. You look up the picture, and you can do the reveal for us at the end of this one. This has, it feels very intense. Feels like it's got a decent bit of proof to it. And almost a little tropical fruit kind of vibe. It's very fruity. but it's not like really rich. It's more of like juicy fruit, gum, maybe some pineapple, maybe... I could see people saying banana, but it's not like Brown-Forman banana. It's not like banana runts. It's a little bit more sophisticated than that, I guess. Whatever. Okay, that's good. Ooh, and it's oaky on the back end. Tastes like Barton. So Slad's Mystery Sample 3126. This tastes like Barton, but not like the real heavy cherry Barton. It reminds me of, honestly, like the pick that's coming out tomorrow. This one, the 11 year, it kind of reminds me of that a little bit. Where you have like more of the like furniture polish, wood varnish, oak, and leather presence than you do, you know, the red fruit that you get from Barton sometimes. Show that label to the camera again. This is the one. Like this. Really good. Do you not know what it is, bro? Slat said fuck. What's up, dude? Got the top 10 2025 sample set today. Dude, I can't thank you enough. I hope you enjoy them, man. Drink them all in one sitting. See, have some fun. Your tainted samples tonight got me terrified to let them sit very long. No, so I tasted some samples that I poured out at the same time as those. I poured like 150 samples that day, and there were some that didn't need to go out anymore. Again, whatever. And so I tasted those, and they were fine. And I was like, okay, so all these samples should be completely fine. Because I rinse every bottle 3 times first. Tim, still trying to figure out how to win one of those Dark Arts bottles. Refresh the page, check the description of the video. It should be like 3 lines down. It'll say like Dark Arts G word or something, and it's a Google form link. Just go fill that link out. That's for the free public giveaway tonight. And we'll talk about the other giveaway again here in a second. Dude, I'm glad. Maybe do like bottom 5, like numbers 10 through 6, and then maybe like 1 through 5 in the next sitting or something. You also wrap every bottle 3 times. Cam, I DM'd you on Discord the bottle, says Slat. Okay. Let me take a couple guesses here, and then I'll do the reveal. I'm going to say this is like... Dude, it's really good. I'm going to say it's 126 proof. I'm going to go out on a really weird limb here. No, I'm not. Because then I'm focusing too much on the bottle. I have a bottle guess in mind. I think this is for some reason, knowing Jeremy, I feel like this is an 18-year Hartfield pick. Maybe even the mashup pick. I just have a weird feeling because it drinks like Barton and it drinks like the less fruity version of Barton, which a lot of those 18 years were. This just doesn't taste 18 years old to me. It tastes more like a 12-year Barton. But then on the finish, it tastes 18. I'm going to say 12 years old, 126 proof Barton, bourbon, unfinished. That's my best guess. Let's see what it is. Oh, wow. Okay, this tracks. It's Four Roses. It's a Four Roses single barrel. And let's see, is this a golden neck? Slat, is this a golden neck? Oh yeah, it's bottled in 2014. So some of these old school Four Roses can taste a lot like Barton. I have a tier 6 OESQ from 2020. Same phenomenon. It just has this Barton quality to it. It's funny, this is an OBSQ. 60 corn, 35 rye. So it's 10 years, 9 months. Very good. And 10 years, 9 months, I said 12 years old. I said 126 proof. It's only 114.6. So I was very high on proof. Very good. Old Roses picks like this are killer. It's the super fine wines and liquor pick. Thank you, Slab. Very good, man. It's funny because in blinds, Old Four Roses and Barton can run together. Whereas newer Four Roses can sometimes run together with turkey products. That's just for me, I guess. What's your Venmo? It's in the description of the video. Can we get my Venmo? Jason, I'm sure I did, man. I'll get to these in a second. We got plenty of whiskey still to go through. Oh, yeah. Okay. Jason. Yes, I got your Venmo. Thank you, man. Stashes says, yeah, I pre-washed all mine and hit them with a bottle brush before using them. And yeah, packaging was killer, bomb-proof. Good. I had one sample break so far in this run of boxes I sent out, but it was a sample that was like wedged between two bottle sleeves. And so it might have like, I think it ended up on the bottom of the box and FedEx just beat the crap out of it and it broke. That was to Daniel, who's here tonight. I feel bad. But at least it wasn't like the Blade & Bow 30 sample that was in there for him. Andy, thank you for the super chat, man. I'll get you in here for 8. Says bottle drop Eve and a live stream. A video next week and Cam is back, baby. Very soon, man. It's coming. Thank you, dude. Brenton Martindale. Gotta spell this right. Thanks, Brenton, for the super chat in for 2. Cheater glasses for life. Dark Arts picks were killer. I can't stop drinking Barrel Daddy. Still, I think probably still available on Bourbon Outfitter. That bottle is killer. One of my favorite Armagnac finishes I've ever had. And it's not because of the Armagnac finish. It's because the base blend was so damn good. Because that Armagnac on there is not heavy in the way that you normally think Armagnac. Usually you think Chateau de la Baude Batch 1 where it's just this crazy saturated Armagnac thing. Barrel Daddy is not that way with the fruit. It's like the Armagnac added even more to like the dirty chai notes of the base blend. Macaulay did some freaking magic with that. Oh, what's up, Rare Bird? I picked a Buckner's 10 that reminds me of roses. That's crazy, because that stuff's beam. But I also will say that I've never had more off-profile beam than the really crazy barrels of Buckner's 10. So some of the shorties that they've got there are really cool. Rutledge era Four Roses gift shop pick. Man, that stuff's awesome. Cameron, I got you in for another one. Cameron 23 and for one more. In your experience, is it possible to keep whiskey in a sample bottle for an extended time period? Mine, like, listen, for me, yes. Like, I think after I wash my bottles and I put them in there, 90% of my samples stay good for an extended period of time. After a couple years, pretty much any whiskey is not going to be great. But Kenny will disagree with me on that from the mashup. Like, Kenny will say that, you know, he doesn't have any problems with that. I also can see where you might not have problems with that. I just think it's such a weird, volatile thing that is not, I don't know what the word is. I don't know what the word is I'm trying to think of right now. So we're going to move on. Like, codified. It's not like a codified thing. All right, so we're going to move on to this barrel cigar blend, and I'll do a quick reminder of what the giveaway is tonight, okay? So we have the free giveaway for public people right now that are not on the Patreon, because Patreon gets their own version of this. So this is giveaway number 1. It's completely free. It's 2 bottles of this right here. Barrel pick that we did with Dark Arts, 6.5-year Calvados finished rye from Green River. It's like an apple pie bomb. It is a finished whiskey, and it tastes like a finished whiskey, but it's a very good dessert profile. Apple pie, maple syrup, all that kind of stuff from the Calvados. So you get this, and you get a sample of a 148 proof, 30 bottle short barrel of 13-year Barton. So there's going to be 2 winners for that giveaway, and you can find the entry for that in the description of this video. It's a Google form that you just put your name and your email address. Please, only 1 entry per person. We'll do that at the end of this video, the end of the live stream. Then for the giveaway for everybody, for the super chats, every $5 is 1 entry. That's what the banner says at the bottom here. Many of you know how this works. Venmo, PayPal, or live chat, as you've been seeing me pull them up. That is going to be a giveaway for 2 winners, and these are half bottles. We're splitting these picks into half bottles of what I think is the best barrel I've probably ever picked, but you got to like high proof because it's 149 proof. It's 13-year Barton, 50 bottle shorty. Crazy color. It's called hot chocolate because it tastes just like pure chocolate. but it's hot as shit because it's 149 proof. It's not overwhelming, but it is very intense. The custom labels I'm having made for the half bottles are coming in tomorrow. I'll slap those on these and send them to the winners. But the two short barrels, the pink wax and the black wax, these two that are in the, that were in the same kind of release are ridiculous. These short barrel Bartons are very, very cool. All right, let's get on to this barrel bourbon cigar blend, and I'll start grabbing some of these Venmo super chats while I'm at it. This is 111.2 proof. Price point on this, I gotta look this up real quick and see what I paid. It was not crazy. I want to say it was like 100 or 150. I know that's a big difference, but I didn't feel like it was terribly overpriced when I saw it. Order confirmed. It says it was, oh no, it was 85 bucks. That's why I didn't feel like it was crazy. 85 bucks. And it's bourbon finished in Madeira, Armagnac, rum, and Hungarian oak. So a lot of stuff going on here. It's distilled Kentucky, Indiana, Tennessee. Pretty typical for barrel. And the age statement's 7.5 to 18 years old. And that's all bourbon. So imagining, for me, probably that the 18-year component is Dickel, because it's the most cost-effective older component. But you never know what they're putting in here. Like last year's barrel foolproof release, I felt like that thing had a lot of Old Heaven Hill in it. It drank like it had a lot of Old Heaven Hill in it. Frankie, no, the 375s are hot chocolate. I rinsed the shit out of these bottles today and let them dry. It is not going to be tainted. And I also leave a little bit of headspace before you get to the neck of the bottle. It's not a ton because I don't want to jit people out of the last quarter ounce of whiskey here at the top. But just a little headspace in the shoulder. Just in case, but they're synthetic corks. That should be totally fine. Andy says, hot chocolate is the third best thing Cam has ever put in my mouth. It's worth the entries. What are the other two? Maybe, careful how you answer that. They're right here. Oakley and William Heaven Hill. Okay. Yeah. Those are definitely better than hot chocolate. I like bourbon a lot, says let's go. Thank you for the super chat. I got you in for 2. This barrel smells pretty freaking good. Did anybody else end up ordering this? I think I got it just in an email on the email list from those guys. So I'll say this, this still has some sharpness, even at 111 proof. I feel like I'm smelling a lot of the younger whiskey in here. But what I appreciate about it is that you smell these fruity or finished components in the whiskey, but there's nothing about it that feels syrupy or saturated. So I think there are many different kinds of people as far as their preferences for finished whiskey. I like heavily finished stuff sometimes, and I also really enjoy when somebody can put something together that is finished, but it's just accenting things and it's very subtle. And barrel is the best at that kind of thing. Barrel never really overfinishes stuff except for seagrass. I think that's very overfinished on purpose. This is subtle, but I think as part of that subtlety, because you get these wispy fruit notes throughout, nothing that's heavy, it has a lot of this youthful, spicy characteristic in there, and you still get some grain going on. That thing lights your palate up. For only 111 proof, it is very spicy whiskey. I think that's, I don't know if that's good or bad, I'm not sure if that's good or bad yet. The finishing is very much in the background. And so if you tell me this is a cigar blend, and if you're going for something that is really spicy to stand up to a cigar, and if you're taking that approach instead of the approach of just a mega sweet fruit bomb, then they've totally succeeded on that. but you can't help but notice that there is a lot of youth. Now it's $85, so at least it's not $150 with that kind of a profile. Second sip calms way down, which is nice. So I don't want to judge this on the first sip. You do get used to that spice. Now I'm starting to get more into these, again, very balanced fruit notes. It's like it's an academic exercise whiskey. That's what barrel does. That's kind of what Old Carter can do sometimes too. They just produce whiskeys that are so meticulously blended, but so academic that sometimes I have a hard time wanting to actually sit down and pour them and enjoy them, because I just feel like I have to be thinking when I drink them. I don't really like that all the time. I don't know. Does that resonate with anybody, or does it just sound like a bunch of crap? I think it shows through also when you go to Barrel's website. Like, let me just do this real quick. Let's have a little fun with this. Barrel Cigar Blend tasting notes. Do they have it on their own website? I'm seeing it everywhere else. Let's see if a retailer site has their own notes. Oh my God, all the pop-ups are gonna kill me. I thought this one had crazy tasting notes, right? Okay, let me just go to my email then. Whatever. Yeah, here we go. All right. Stick. I'm gonna put it up here. Appearance, maple syrup. I don't even know what that means. The heady, piquant scent. I don't even know that word. Third word in. Do you say piquant? P-I-Q-U-A-N-T? P-I-Q-U-A-N-T. Pronunciation. Piquant. Okay, piquant. What does piquant mean? Having an agreeably pungent taste. All right, so the heady, piquant scent of crusty sourdough bread strikes first. I'm with them on that. That's an MGP note. That's like the yeasty note that I talk about on MGP, but here it's well put together. A distinctly fruity note plays second fiddle to the toffee, pipe tobacco, and dusty cedar chest of the casks themselves. The oxidized wine imparts walnuts, dry autumn leaves, and leather of rancio, going as far as miso in the savory direction. As the whiskey breathes, pastries emerge, ranging from sticky buns and eclairs to sweet potato pie. Fruits resolve. It's sick. Into pear, persimmon, and a splash of grape soda. On the nose, that's the nose. I mean, it's pretty wild. I appreciate it, you know? Listen, I like writing tasting notes too, but Barrel is the most over the top I've ever seen. Palate, warm cola with cinnamon dialed up, slightly burnt cornbread, pistachio ice cream, and a vanilla so pungent, or piquant, it's perfume-like. The texture is big, rich, and chewy, full of oils, sugars, and tannins. I mean, I don't even want to keep going. So, it's a lot. Like, I think they blend the whiskey. Like, the way that they talk about the whiskey is the way that they blend the whiskey. That's my experience with Barrel. It's a good $85 bottle. It's not worth anything more than $85. It's a great master class as far as how to like put together all these weird finishes and not have it feel overdone. I don't know if they reblend it at the end with unfinished stuff. My guess is maybe, because otherwise they're just excellent at knowing when to pull the whiskey out of the finishing barrels. The cheat code to that is just leave it in too long and then reblend it at the end, and you can kind of even things out. I don't know which approach they're taking. It's very solid $85 whiskey. It's not going to win any awards. It's not going to beat much in a blind tasting, in my opinion. But good Lord Almighty, the tasting notes. If you're on their mailing list, go read those tasting notes. Is there any bottle you can compare to the 9-year Elkwood? This is going to sound very, very douchey, but not really as far as the actual profile of that pick, because... And it's not just the barrel that we picked. Every barrel in that lot had a profile that was similar to it, but that lot of barrels is just unlike any Green River I've ever tasted in Kelvin, because it has this weird layer in it of what I was calling like a mix of salted caramel, like a waxy almond thing, like with a very strong presence of like a beeswax note, and then almost like this savory component in there too. I said it was like hoisin, maybe even like a little soy saucy, like just heaviness on the palate. And then you have all of that weirdness, and that's one layer, and then the rest of it is just a massive fruit explosion of like raspberry, blood orange, and apple, which is pretty typical stuff for Green River, especially in Kelvin. So because it has that one weird layer to it, I can't compare it to much else. And if you took that note out of it, then you could probably compare it to a lot of the, source Green River on the market right now. I just don't know what the difference was with this lot of barrels. But like, you take one sip and you're like, whoa, that is like crazy. And then after the first sip, you're like, I want to taste that again. And then you taste it again, and everything kind of evens out. And you're like, whoa, that's pretty good, Oh, this is funny. Sethster says, Cam, the term for a product being contaminated by its packaging in the farmer world is appropriately called leachable. That's good. That's good. I missed 2 super chats here. Sorry, guys. In the feed, not in the Venmo. I know I haven't gotten to the Venmos. We're only an hour and 15 in. We're doing great. Chorbus, great name. In for 10. This probably has been asked to death, but how can I send in a sample? Just shoot me an email. I'll put the email in the chat here. And if I've been really bad, the last 2 months have been particularly bad for me responding to people. There are things that I just, like DMs from 2 months ago, I haven't gotten to. I've seen people unsend their DMs, which I feel really bad about. They were sitting there and I left them there, so I'm like, I gotta remember to read this later. So anyways, I just put it in the chat. But I appreciate the super chat. Andy. All right, moving on from what Andy and I were talking about. Tyler Ake, got you in for 4 entries. Appreciate it. Amy Bohm, I saw that you're in here. Thank you for being here. It's great to see your name. I'll find you here in a second. Because I saw Joe said something about piquant. Piquant seems like dude, piquant is way beyond my vocab. Way beyond. Daniel had me at hoisin. That's interesting because I thought that would be divisive. Dan Swank in for 4. Thank you, Dan. What do you think about the layoffs and loss of Master Distillery Green River? I mean, it's hard to have an opinion about something that I don't know too much about, unfortunately. I think you're going to see, they use the term right sizing is what I read online somewhere. I think it was secondhand, though. Sounds right, you got to right size these operations. Green River's owned by Bardstown Bourbon Company. Sounds to me like Aaron was not the master distiller, but the head distiller, and that maybe like a master distiller title, maybe that's further up the food chain over both Bardstown and Green River. I don't know if that's true or not. That's like an assumption on my part. But it might be that they don't need somebody in that kind of a role. I don't know if they laid him off or if he left on his own accord. I would also be curious to know which of those things is true. But they certainly laid off the other people. But it sounds to me like they've got contracts they're going to still fulfill. They're still going to be distilling whiskey, but that they just don't need as large of a workforce, and maybe they can get by with, cheaper employees doing the same work if it's automated. But I think you're going to see this across the market. I think it sucks for those people, but in the end, it's what basically has to happen. 15 satch level. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good right now, Travis. Probably more like 25. Oh, Amy said something earlier about the Dickel in the barrel blends. Where was that? I skimmed by it. I don't see it anymore. I don't know why. All right, what are we tasting next, guys? You want to do let's do the King of Kentucky stuff. Let's get into this this craziness here. So they're split into these sample bottles for me, and then I've got an actual 2-ouncer of batch 1. Nope, this is the Bowman, which I need to remember to taste. That's got to be last because the proof is really high. Oh, where's the sample? I thought I had it on this table for tonight. Give me just a second to think about where I put this sample. of batch 1. King of Kentucky, small batch 1. Where are you? Oh, not good. Not good. Maybe it's over here. Really killing it tonight. That's slad sample. Dang it. I might have to run upstairs and look upstairs because it could still be up there. Half kidding sounds interesting. He ignores my chats all the time and I'm kind of a big deal. What's up, Brett? Philip Washington, thanks for the super chat, man. In for forces. Cheers, Cam. Cheers right back at you, dude. I got you in. Torah 7880. I'll just go Torah in here. 10. 2 entries. Any bottle you compare to the red light, green light. So guys, the red light, green light is the light whiskey that's coming out tomorrow for Patreon members. It drinks just more like a high proof Kentucky bourbon. Like, that makes it sound generic. It just doesn't taste like light whiskey, so you can't really compare it to an MGP light whiskey. I would almost compare it to, like, this is a weird one, but like Dry Fly, some of the high proof Dry Fly wheat whiskeys, and then like high proof Middle West wheat whiskeys, which we did one of those picks a few years ago. This has a profile similar to those, with just a little less. Well, it's similar to Dry Fly. Our Middle West had a lot of intense oak. This has more of a medium oak, but it's like caramel corn, sugar cookie, brown sugar, cinnamon, all that kind of stuff. I've got slad samples here. Man, I don't know where the freaking batch 1 is. I'm so upset. I wanted to do all these King of Kentuckys, and somehow I don't have the batch 1 sample in front of me. First stream back, and I'm just totally screwing up. All right, I'm going to run upstairs and check. Oh, I'm going to put this on the screen, Travis, so people can see it. All right, be right back. Nope, not there. My worry is that I threw the sample away when I threw the box away that it came in. That is my real worry here. That I actually don't even have the sample anymore. And that it's gone. Yep. Well, did I already taste the other 2 King of Kentuckys on a live stream, or was that just for Patreon? Does anybody remember? I guess we can retaste those 2. Jeez, dude, what a freaking stream. What a stream. I thought it was just for Patreon. We can taste the other 2. Although I do need to find it now. I mean, you know, for the video. Small batch, small batch. I'm like so shocked that it's not on this table because everything was on this table for the stream, I thought. And it's not on the floor. All right. Let's drink some King of Kentucky small batch with a very warmed up palate. I think the last time I tasted it, I was pretty fresh going into it. Yeah, I may have thrown the sample away, like by accident or something. I cleared a bunch of boxes out. I can't believe there's still 170 people in here. As I walk around the room, desperately looking. Okay. So what we have here is batch 2 and batch 3, which are the 2 highest proof batches of this. Apparently, it's the exact same blend between them. Just proof to different points. Very odd to... The whole thing is odd to me. Thanks for mentioning leather and oak. I found a batch 6, such a unique profile, so butterscotchy. Yeah, well, guess what? Those are 8 to 10 year barrels in these blends, if you can believe it. It's pretty crazy. Cam isn't a fan of the... Okay. All right, Jesse. Anyways, Michael Hogan, dude, thank you for the super chat. That's insane. 20 entries. Appreciate you, dude. And then Noah PG. I'm like irrationally upset right now, and I'm trying to hide it about this stupid sample and not knowing where it is. In for 2. Thank you, Noah. Is that Altshuler to your right? The blend. No, this is the single barrel. And this is very good. Like, I'm so happy to have this bottle. But I don't have the blend. I think people have said that this single barrel is... They tend to say that it's better than the blend. Any luck securing Heaven Hill? Yeah, I paid a lot for one today, but I felt okay about the price. I haven't compared the different batches yet. I've smelled them here at home. I've tasted 2 of them here at home side by side, but I haven't done like on video for Patreon yet. Super chat is not showing up. Can I send a screenshot of the payment? Why? That's the second person tonight to say that, but I don't know what to do in that situation. Because I've seen that happen before, but then the payment never went through for those people, or it was like a hold and then it was sent back or something. I don't know. Oh, I missed a second super chat here. Philip Washington, Dan Swank, Chorbus. Oh, thank you, man. I got you. J Caps. All right, I'm losing steam. I got to get back into it. You got 4 more entries with that. It says, thanks for bringing back some killer rye picks. Keep them coming. I'm always trying to find more of these ryes, dude. All right. So we're going to start with King of Kentucky Batch 2, small batch. Tasted these one other time before for Patreon. I don't exactly remember my thoughts, to be honest. So I think this is going to be kind of fun. And you know what I'm going to add next to it, which I had on the thumbnail, is the 1924. All right, so let me get a glass for the 1924. We'll put this next to these other 2. This can sub in for batch 1, King of Kentucky. I bet Sarah hit it. You're not missing anything. Need some hot chocolate. But yeah, send me a screenshot of the payment, and maybe if you have like a banking app and you can send it to me in my email right now, but I don't know. Getting home from a nice dinner at B-Dubs. James Preston, Press Text. Let me put you in here, man. In for 5. Cheers to a drop without 13-year Barton. What a hater. I love it. I love the Barton hate. We've got people leaving because I'm being boring as shit. Let's get into this. Batch 2, King of Kentucky. This is the 107.5. Okay, so there's a lot of blackberry in this. I love that note. I love like a Brown Forman, Old Forester blackberry note. Blackberry, blueberry kind of all runs together for these products. And that is nice. Little yeastiness in here. Like, that's another thing that some Brown Forman products can have. I usually don't find that yeastiness on typical King of Kentucky. That's normally like, you know, the brown sugar molasses, acetone also, which is a note that I don't like. It's a fault for me. But usually King of Kentucky is very, obviously this is proof down. But I think that different mash bill is maybe part of the reason I'm getting this yeast note that I normally don't get on the 79-11-10 mash. This is 75-15-10. Not sure if that's the mash itself or if it's a blend of their 2 mashes, the early time 79-11 and then the typical Old Forester. Are most of the high-aged Altschulers worth rolling the dice on? I have liked the two that I've tried, and then the first one that I tried, other people told me they hated it. So don't trust me on that one. This one, I think, is even better than that last one by a pretty big margin. It is really hard to buy them blind. I'll give you that. So I don't know exactly how to put it. I think it's not a consistent enough opinion across the board from the people that have tried these things. So maybe proceed with caution just for your palate. Acetone isn't a fault for some people. I don't know. I mean, some people tend to like any high-aged Brown-Forman product, whether or not there's a bunch of acetone in it or not. I've gotten to the point now with King of Kentucky that it's gotten so much worse over the years. Like this year, the single barrel I got was so bad, I'm getting rid of it, because it just tastes like a Sharpie. But I think some people like it. Cam's losing samples like they're pieces of sourdough bread. Now, I am going to keep kind of peeking around the room a little bit while I smell and taste this batch too. All right, let's go to the palate. Dude. It's only 107.5 proof on this. But it is so good. It's is it $300 good? No. But it's really good, I think. I think it's just good whiskey. It's dessert-like. It's very much, it's more into the Old Forester world of profiles than it is into the early times world of profiles. It doesn't resemble King of Kentucky at all to me. It tastes a lot more like, and I guess I should just go ahead and do this comparison. It tastes more like not 1924, but what am I thinking of? More like the 117 series stuff. Like this has maybe more of that vibe to it. It's more straight up Old Forester. Let me smell it next to 1924. It's funny, the 1924 is almost a darker shade than this older and higher proof whiskey. Wow. This is batch 3, 1924. This just came out. Smells really good. My batch 1 of 1924 I liked, but I didn't think, it was okay. Price point, I don't know. People complained about it. Batch 2 came out. I never found a batch 2 1924, but Matt Porter sent me a sample in Matt Madness last year. And that batch 2 I thought was so much better than batch 1, which I think was also in that flight. This batch 3 smells great. I'm getting a lot of chocolate on this, really heavy chocolate notes. A lot of that Old Forester kind of heat cycled forced oak, but that's not always a bad thing, because I think early bottles of President's Choice have that forced oak, but it's just done really well, I guess. It's molassesy kind of oak. This 1924 has that. Now the palate is pretty weak. I'm coming off of 107.5, but a 107.5 that's super full and rich, that kind of has more power and concentration than this proof point you would imagine this to have. And then going down to 100 here for the 1924, that's a little tougher. If they release this 1924 at a higher proof consistently, with this profile and this level of quality, if this was just a higher proof, it's going to break the market. But instead, we get these King of Kentucky batches that nobody asked for, which are not bad. This batch 2 is not bad. But I actually much prefer the profile of this 1924 than this batch 2, because, again, this batch 2 has some of that yeastiness that I don't love from some Old Forester products. Austin, I offered to run batch 2 of 1924 and you said no. At the time, I didn't think it was going to be something that we compared batches for. I'm going to be honest. I thought 1924 was going to be like 1920, where we just thought of it as a product that came out, normally. I didn't realize it was a once a year drop that had specific batches. So that was on me. Have you tried batch 1 of the King Kentucky? No, that's the one that I can't freaking find in this room right now. That's driving me crazy. And while you say that, I'll just take another quick look at my shelf here. I had friends over the other day, and we were down here, and I'm sure that I was just like drinking whiskey and just moving things around or putting things down in very silly places. And that's probably why I can't find that sample bottle. I've also had contractors in here like for the last 3 days doing stuff in the house, so that's probably another reason. Things have just been moved around and I don't know where anything is. Yeah. So the answer is no. What's up, Caduce? Mike Caduce is here. Listen, I think people that are heavily shitting on these King of Kentucky small batches, I think a little bit of it is just like the internet dunk effect. Like they just want to dunk on something. Because I think the whiskey itself is really good. Now, if the criticism is just that the price is too high and that it doesn't deserve the King of Kentucky name, I am fully with you on that. But the people that are saying like, this whiskey sucks, 1924 is better than this whiskey, there's a little bit of a case to be made on flavor profile, but as far as just the drinking experience and overall experience of these whiskeys side by side, yes, I love this profile, but it's 100 proof and it has a thin palate. So I don't think that, at least for me, I look at those criticisms as just being like a little bit of that dunking effect that people like to do online. And it's fun. Listen, it's fun to dunk on things. You can't fault people for having fun doing it. But yeah, it needs, like Travis, I agree. $150, I'm totally with you on that. But now let's move on to batch 3, 110 proof for this one. Naturally, the highest proof, everybody's going to assume this is the best one. It may be the best one for me too. I'm just prefacing by saying, typically, I think people are going to taste with their eyes on this one and look at that proof point. All right, let's get into some of these Venmo Super Chats. Travis is starting us off there with 2 entries. He said, for the little one, not you, Cam. For Madeline. Nicholas Ryerson, thank you, Travis. And thanks, Nick, for 2 entries as well. Let me grab 2 more here. Daniel P. is getting 10 entries. Thanks, Daniel. $50 Super Chat. Said, let's go. Thanks again for the samples. Good to have you live again. Obviously, not in for the drawing. Oh, no, you're in for the drawing, bro. I appreciate the Super Chat. Adam H. in for 5. That's the last one with a little hot chocolate emoji. All right. Batch 3. I've heard batch 1 is the one. Oh, wow, really? See, I would assume that everybody would just look at the proof point and say, no way. Oh, Andy, I'll put that up there. That's good. That's good. 5.7 1/4. Okay, batch 3. Actually, it is starting to get more into the chocolate notes of the 1924, so I like that. Yeah. It's got less of the yeastiness from batch 2. Okay. Ooh. This is grippier, more tannic, a little drier on the palate. I get a lot more berries on this one. A lot more chocolate and a lot more berries. And maybe this is more of like a raspberry. It's not the same kind of blackberry, blueberry thing from batch 2. I still can't believe you couldn't find those other samples. Dude, I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time. Chris, what's up, dude? Chris, I saw you message me and I need to get back to you. I am so sorry. You need to come over. Just come over to the house. Let's hang out. I mean that. I'm not just saying that. You going to Kentucky next week for the Rare Bird event? No, next week is a big work week for me. Just a lot of moving gear from this house to the hall, and then lots of concerts and stuff. So I heard it. Joe Sayre's gonna be pissed. No, Chris, I'm serious. I'm gonna message you because also I need to get you a certain bottle. I found 2 bottles in 1924 this year, one of my favorites so far. I think in the 100 proof range, barring the fact that yes, it does drink a little bit flat. Although I need to put it next to other 100 proof stuff because it's tough when you have it next to these others. I'd love to go to that event, Chris. Where is it at? You'll be missed. Dude, David, I'd love to come down and hang. What are y'all playing? We're playing Shostakovich 8, Symphony 8. That's the second half. And then the first half of the concert is a percussion concerto by Viet Quang called Renewal. So we have Sandbox Percussion coming in as the soloists. Super cool piece. Guys, look up Renewal Percussion Concerto. There's like this wine glass thing where they're clinking them together in the beginning. It's very, very cool. But then Shostakovich 8 is the main piece on the concert. I have I have a school concert this week in an elementary school on Tuesday or Wednesday morning. And then I think there was something else too, but I can't remember. Dude, I was hoping to get a review on King Kentucky Batch 1. Me too. Me too. But this is the problem. I don't even know where to look. If I knew what to dig through, that sample came in last week, and I just had it sitting on the counter upstairs to bring down here. And then I brought bottles down here, and I would have never taken that sample and put it like in the middle of samples on this shelf because I haven't touched anything else on these shelves. So I'm like, it should be somewhere that is just incredibly obvious. And it's a 2-ounce sample bottle, so it should stand out amongst 1-ouncers. And I just don't see it. So it's probably it had to have been put somewhere very weird that doesn't make any sense. The only other thing would be like this shelf that I'm looking at right now, but I don't see it. And then, yeah, I just don't know. So I'm sorry. I was looking for it too, but looking forward to it. Did you pull it off the table with Slad samples? Pull it off the table. No. I got Slad stuff here and down there, but no, I haven't touched it. I'll run into it later. I'm sure I will. I didn't. It must not have been on this table at the start of the stream. That's the problem. It's just somewhere random in this basement or upstairs, I guess. Sorry, guys. Just gotta yell at him a little bit more. What? What are you talking about, Jeb? You get a push present yet? No. Sarah said she didn't want one. That's gonna end up being a lie, I know, but we'll see. All right, 2 more, Mr. Kaplan. What did Leather and Oak say to Drums and Drams buying the entire state supply batch? Oh, listen, Steve was happy that we sold all those bottles. He was very happy. I can't wait to do a barrel pick there. He said, yeah, contractors are enjoying the shit out of that right now. Very possibly. Everyone's trolling you about batch 1. Nice. I played Chassis 10 a few months back. I played that 2 years ago. I love the snare part in Chassis 10. That's fun to play. Guy dumped it into his big gulp after spilling the stain on your carpet. Yeah, dude, I spill wood stain all over the vinyl plank in the kitchen, and then a little bit on the carpet. Go buy mineral spirits immediately, bring it back, scrub the piss out of the carpet, get the stain out. Next day, contractor comes back, spills his own wood stain on the carpet by the fireplace, and I'm like, at least I know how to get this out now, you know? So, it's just been a few days. Curtis, thank you for the super chat. I get you in for 10. Curtis Waddell in for 10. Thanks, man. These King of Kentuckys. Like batch 3 almost gets into cola territory. It's really close. Batch 2 is like what I want birthday bourbon to taste like because of the proof point. 107. It's like a great proof point for a birthday bourbon. Dude, I think holistic whiskey experience, batch 2 might be my favorite. Because it's less tannic, it feels like a good proof point for this to sit at. And batch 1, the world may never know. Let's go to some higher proof stuff now, okay? Let's do this one. Let's do A126. A126. Couple extra glasses here. Nope, that's not it. Man, I thought I found it. That would have been awesome. It would make my night if I found that sample. It really would. Spilling the stain was the diversion. Cam's an expert at getting wood stain out of the carpet. Oh, Pink Dan. Will this be the ECBP batch that gets Cam off Heaven Hill's blacklist? Let's find out together, Jesse. On next week's episode of Dragon Ball Z. Daniel said that sample was in my package. Don't tell me that, bro. Do not tell me that. I know that's not true, but don't tell me that. I forget. Do you use price in your rating? No. Price is not factored in. Are the King of Kentucky's high 80s ratings or low 80s because value? No, I would not include value, but I think like rating-wise, it's hard for me to rate them right now. When I'm this deep into things, I don't want to rate. When I rate, I want to have like one warm-up pour that I know, which is Eagle Rare 12, and then go straight into tasting something. Individually, very focused, whatever. I think rating-wise, these are in the range of like the King of Kentucky's, like 83 to 86 maybe, for my rating system. What did I rate birthday bourbon last year? I'd be curious, but I don't see these being like high 80s whiskeys for me at all. Half the country has no access to Eagle Rare 12 yet. It's this guy's warm-up pour. What you got to understand is this is the first and only bottle of Eagle Rare 12 that I've ever had. And when I warm up with it, that's the only time I drink it. So this has lasted me since, when did this come out? Last summer, maybe? Like this has probably lasted me 9 months, this bottle. Because I just have one pour before I warm up for certain things. So no, it's not like it's growing on trees for me. And I paid full secondary for that bottle. So, How is Knob Creek Distillers Select? Oh, the blenders thing? Good. For the price point, very good. Daniel, bro, you're evil. You're evil. Okay, Elijah Craig, A126, 11 years, 11 months, 120.4 proof. The nose is okay. It's not like, yeah, it's okay. It has a little bit of almost a malty effect for me. What I mean by that is like kind of a textured or grainy like honey note on the nose. You do smell the rye in here. How does that rye come through? I'm trying to think about this. It's not a typical, it's not dill It's not even really that herbal. It's like green peppercorn, maybe. Like I'm just trying to think of something to say. And maybe more of like a savory rye. Like a savory, like you're cooking in the kitchen with herbs or something. Like that kind of green rye note as opposed to being like mint or dill or pine or something like that. No, the planet, listen, I bought a sample of batch 1 to taste on a live stream. I bought 2 ounces. 1 ounce for a live stream, 1 ounce for a video. I might just have to buy another 2-ounce sample. I think what I was thinking maybe is that this Bowman sample, which is in a 2-ounce bottle also, I may have thought that this was the sample that I was looking for. Like I had this on the side table thinking this was the King of Kentucky, and it was actually the Bowman. But then I still would have been missing the Bowman, but that's fine. All right. Yeah. Listen, at 11 years, 11 months, I would like a little bit more of an aged oak. Like this is kind of a clean, almost, it smells like a 9-year whiskey to me, and that might be splitting hairs, but I think it's important because we have a certain expectation for, you know, something has the Elijah Craig name and it's basically 12 years old. We kind of have an expectation of what that oak profile is. This doesn't quite hit that for me. Maybe it's because it's a rye, or maybe it's just the barrel selection. 120.4 proof, to me, that kind of means we're on like the 3rd floor, you know, maybe like 2nd, 3rd floor of the rick house. I'm just kind of guesstimating. I don't exactly know the proofs of all the Heaven Hill rick houses, but we're definitely not high up, which means that we're probably not getting a lot of like super heavy barrel impact. Let's go to the palate. Palate is so much better than the nose for me. Still, like a lot of oatmeal, like oatmeal raisin cookie with a kind of gingerbread rye spice. It's more of like a baking spice rye as opposed to green herbal rye on the palate. Palate lingers very well. Good finish. But the nose is where I'm like, I wish I had a little bit more something going on with the nose. Good. Very good. This is like this is probably in that 84, 85 range for me, which is funny because the King of Kentucky stuff is so different, these small batches, to also be in the same range. They're just stylistically completely different. But I think overall for me, they kind of do the same thing quality-wise overall. A126 is just 1 or 2 steps below the Bottle Your Own. Dude, the Bottle Your Own in my end of the year blind and in other blinds too has not done well because it just feels like forced. It feels like a young whiskey that was force aged, which it probably was. It was probably high up in the rick house. What do you think about Sazerac Foolproof? I really like it for the price point, and I think in a weird way, like I didn't like this year's Thomas Handy. I like 2024 Thomas Handy a lot, which most people don't like that one. But I think I'm not the biggest Thomas Handy fan across the board, so 24 was kind of like a different profile, and I appreciated that one more than the standard profile. But I would say the Sazerac Foolproof, when I compare that to this year's Handy 25, which I don't like that much, I would rather drink the Sazerac Foolproof. But in a blind, what would I do? I don't know. But at least just like on paper, as far as availability, price point, everything else, it's like give me that Sazerac Foolproof all day. I think it's really solid. Bowman is coming next. Haven't tasted it yet. Maybe I should open my batch 1 and let you know. Yeah, you should. Let's do that. You tell us how batch 1 is. Where do you buy samples? Just from folks on like online, secondary groups, that kind of thing. This is a great comparison. Compared the A126 to Parker's Tin Rye from a few years back, a little less complex, but way more crushable. Yeah, that Parker's was a little weird. It was like, if I remember correctly, it was like a mint chocolate rye. Paul, what's up, Paul? Good to see you, dude. Throw your super chat in here. And then hit a couple more Venmos because I'm insanely behind, but I will get everybody in there. Paul's in for 2, says white backwards hat cam is the idol we've been waiting for. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you've been waiting on that. Did a 4 rye blind with my wife, and Sazerac Full Proof came in second against a much higher price. That does not surprise me. Have you tried the Knob Creek blenders? Yeah, I tasted that first on the stream. Slad, I hate you. Is there a particular bottle you'd like to try but never been able to? Yeah, Michter's 25 rye. That's like probably the top whiskey I've never tried. I've had Old Willet, B barrels, C barrels. I have a sample. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna end the stream with a pretty cool sample. I hope it's not tainted because it's been in the sample bottle for a couple years now. Courtesy of Brooks Reed. It's a Willet 27 year. I said this a few months back that I was going to end my stream with this, and I forgot. Don't let me forget tonight, please. I have like half an ounce left. Willet 27 year, 132.6 proof, barrel number 2874. I would pay a stupid amount of money for this bottle. But yeah, I feel like I've tasted a lot of the really epic bottles. You know, some of like the Red Hook Ryes and the Doug's Green Ink and all that. I'll never get to taste those. And I don't know if those would even live up to the hype anyways. A lot of the single barrel Van Winkle bottlings, I'll never get to taste those. And that's okay. But all the old Bernheim, Heaven Hill, KBD, you know, this kind of stuff, I've had a lot of the really cool bottles, I would say. But Michter's 25 rye, I'm just curious. It's like, what the hell is this going to taste like, you know? I have no concept of what that's going to be. Have you had Hirsch? Yeah, I've had the gold foil Hirsch. I haven't had the blue or the red wax. But the gold foil Hirsch, very good. I don't think it's anywhere near worth the secondary prices. David says, Michter's 25 rye is fantastic, even though it doesn't taste its crazy secondary price to me. Yeah, secondary is like 20 grand. That's like a level of whiskey I could never get into. I said I would never spend $300 on a bottle 5 years ago. Here we are today, but from where I am now to 20 grand is a pretty big gap. I don't think that's ever going to happen. Listen, the Elijah Craig, I was really hard on this, the first release of this, 925, and I was still also pretty hard on the A126, to be honest. But I think A126 with a price is an excellent pour. I still have a maybe delusional expectation of what I want these barrel proof ryes to be. Especially because I figure they have the inventory for it. They're not, like, they're probably not selling all the rye off like in the same way they're selling the bourbon. They probably have inventory to play with. And Michter's 25 rye coming up for the 100K celebration. Yeah, I mean, in 5 years, if the channel ever hits 100K. Although that one short has gotten us 20,000 subs, which is very funny. All right, now I am definitely behind on super chats. Guys, have I missed anything so far from the thumbnail of this video? Let me take a look. I thought I had everything. Nope, that's not the thumbnail. I think oh, the Bowman. So we'll do the Bowman now, and then we can kind of free for all after the Bowman. Bowman cask strength batch 5, and I'm gonna pour batch 4 next to it. Just snag a Red Hook. How much is a Red Hook? Like, is that in the 25 grand range or what? While I'm over here, I'm taking another quick look to see if I'm missing a sample of batch 1 King of Kentucky. And I don't see it. Yeah, honest to God, I feel like I threw that sample away when I got rid of a bunch of boxes. Really think that happened. Red Hook is well beyond that. I couldn't remember, David, if that was one of those like 100K bottles or like one of those 20K bottles. What a distinction. You know, what a world we live in. Remove one king from the thumbnail, please. Yeah, so A. Smith Bowman, batch 4. I hate this bottle. Hate it. I think it's hot fire. No redeeming qualities for me. Similar to 2025 George T. Stagg, which I might have to grab and compare to batch 5 if batch 5 is better than 4. I haven't had a good track record with these A. Smith Bowman cask strengths, but I've also never tried batch 1 or batch 2. I've only tried 3, 4, 5. I thought 3 was not great, to be honest. And that's right when secondary started to drop off. It really dropped off on batch 4. I felt like supply went up. I don't know what supply is going to be on batch 5. We haven't really seen it hit a lot of markets yet. I think it's been mostly in Virginia, which is why secondary is a lot higher right now on batch 5, because scarcity is up. We'll kind of see what happens with all this, but I'm hopeful that A. Smith Bowman can kind of turn this around, because I think they have good whiskey. I just think it seems to me like they're going for a blend that's just hot for the sake of being hot, just to compete with the proof points on the market. If anybody from Bowman, for any reason, would see this part of this video 2 hours in, you don't need to compete with the proofs on the market. Just blend a good whiskey and stop trying to get close to 140 proof. Please. 92,000 on wooden cork. Jesus. We'll write it off. It's a write-off. If it's 92K on wooden cork, if we write it off, it's maybe more like, I don't know, 72K. What a discount, you know? Yeah, dude. You dumping a barrel got 29 million views on a short. Yeah. Who would have thunk it? That was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Tom, what's the most you spent on a bottle? Be honest. Tom loves to spend money on whiskey. And I love Tom because he loves to spend money on whiskey. Let's get some of these Venmo super chats here. So I left off on Ben Arrington. Thank you, Ben. Is in for 5. Said cheers to a great stream. Thanks, Ben. Probably 2 hours after you sent that, but I appreciate you. Curtis sent one to the Venmo as well. Thanks, Curtis. Oh my God, 20 entries. Bro, thank you. Holy shit. Jeez. You did one here and one there. That's awesome. Jesse said Pampers Fund. Thanks, Jesse. Nate Fosnacht, in for 4. I spelled your name wrong. I'm sorry, I'm not going to fix it right now. It looks... Okay, I'm going to fix it. I can't not fix it. Thank you. I got you in for 4. Mr. Sam Thorner, in for 1. Says Heaven Hill 22 fund donation. He's got the spoiler. Mike G is in for 10. Thanks, Mike G. Let's do 3 more. Amy Bohm. And for 4, missed you, Cam. Hope you and Sarah are doing well. Cheers, all. Amy, we're doing better now. Well, I'm doing better now. Sarah's been doing great. She's, she's on cloud 9, of course. And I am too, but it's so much more real for her, I think, carrying the baby. I told her, I still feel like if I talk to your stomach, I'm talking to an imaginary friend, and it feels kind of silly. But she knows something's in there, and so, she could sit and talk to the baby and call her, and I'm still calling her it, Jeremy Slad in for 20 says buy more colorful clothes. All right, and then Jason Heineman, I got you in for 4. He said hang. Okay, let's get on to this Bowman comparison. Passed on 24 GTS today for 600. That's about secondary, and I don't blame you. I would do an entry for the Dark Arts, but I'm not seeing a link for it. Guys, is the Dark Arts... Am I crazy? Is the Dark Arts not in the description of this video? No, it is. Oh, that has the wrong title on the freaking... That title didn't save on my form. This is Dark Arts Calvados giveaway. I just changed the title on the form. No, it's definitely in the description of the video, Tim. You have to click the description of this live stream and look for the link. It's definitely there, but it did have the wrong title on it, on the actual thing. I don't know why that was the case, but it just asked for your name and your email address. I had copied this from a previous giveaway, and the name, it had the spinning wheel of death on my screen, like the 3 dots, and I don't think it ever saved the name until right now. It says Dark Arts Calvados giveaway now. Sorry about that. Man. What is it with this Bowman stuff? Public entry only. Yeah, it's no Patreon members. It's just public. Austin, can I give you your money back, please? I found GTS for $500. Should I have bought it? Depends on the year, you know. If you found it recently and it was a recent year, personally, no. I did not like this year's GTS. And last year's I thought was good. Is it worth $500? Yeah, probably, but it depends on like how much you spend on whiskey on a normal basis. All right. Bowman Cask Strength Batch 5 is 137.6. Yeah, 137.6, 10-year age statement. So I'm just smelling it next to the 24. Man, it's kind of the same problem. This batch 5 is... It's just ethanol and spice. It's like Dr. Pepper kind of spice, but so much ethanol and not... There's no body to this on the nose. It's stripped down. It's like... it's like the whiskey itself before it went into the barrel was so stripped down, and then you put it into a barrel and you're trying to impart, you know, flavor from the barrel on this stuff, and it's like the White Dog is just not taking the flavor on, and so you're still getting that White Dog ethanol forward thing on the nose. And it's legitimately the same thing as George T. Stagg this year. Same problem. As I go to batch 4, Bowman, this actually has a little bit more honey sweetness to it. There's less red fruit. Like less of the Dr. Pepper spice. That's not there. This is more honey and vanilla, but with shitloads of ethanol. And then batch 5 is more like Dr. Pepper spice, a little more cola, but again with so much ethanol that I don't like it. So let me grab the GTS. I need one more glass. All right. Anybody watching this right now that hasn't entered the Dark Arts thing, if you're a public viewing person, not a Patreon member, you have 6 minutes. At 11:30 p.m., I'm going to shut that form off, and then we'll just run that giveaway, and then we'll do last call after that for the super chat giveaway. But I got to get through the Venmos first, and if anybody submitted on PayPal as well. So this is GTS 2025, the hazmat. I'll put it up here. I need this as a point of reference for these Bowmans. All 3 of these so far for me are suffering from the same problem of just being overly hot whiskeys with not enough actual flavor and body to support the hotness. Grab the 25D. Good call. Let me taste it after these. Remind me after these. How do we get in on the Dark Arts? Just look in the description of this video. It's like the 3rd link down, people said. Austin. All right, let's dive into a quick quick little sensitive topic here for my friend Austin. Austin Shirley. Doxed. Check. 10 entries. Austin, my friend Austin, says, can you explain what FMM means? I see this acronym but don't understand. Please explain fully. Okay. So, my friend Jeb, Austin, you know Jeb. Jeb came up with this acronym and maybe found it somewhere else and informed us in the Discord group that it means F my mouth. But in polite whiskey society, it's not sexual. All it means is that a whiskey is taking your mouth and your tongue to Pound Town with its flavor profile. And so that's what FMM means. And so we label a whiskey FMM if it absolutely just flavor bombs you and wrecks your mouth in the best possible way. And so that's what FMM means. But we don't really say what it means. We just say FMM so that we can be cool. Thank you for the question, Austin. All right, let's get back to the Venmos. It's very piquant. Jeb, it came from EJ, his girlfriend, when she said certain foods were effing her mouth. She gets the credit. Tim, I feel like at this point, this is funny. I don't know if it's a bit or if you're like literally trying not to find this link. But somebody help Tim, please. I'm done helping for Tim. Oh my God. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. I can't compete with food. What does polite mean? Asking for a friend, the more you know. Okay. All right. Let me smell this GTS now. Man, I mean, these are so dangerously close. FMM soundbite is a future viral short. Austin, throw the link in chat for Tim. There we go, Tim. There's the link, dude. You got this. Can I tell you guys something weird? GTS 2025 almost smells like really high proof buff turkey. Not quite as much of the tropical note as some of the buff turkey gets. It makes sense, right? Buffalo Trace distilled that stuff. It has a little buff turkey vibe to it. Okay. Anyways, back to some super chats here. I'm going to taste batch 5. A. Smith Bowman. Wow. It's so hot. I hope Tim wins. Tim, I hope you win too, man. Distilled around the same time too. Yeah, what were the dates for the buff turkey? Was like August 08 and March 09. And this GTS would have been what? This would have been, is this a 15 and a half batch or a 15 batch? If it was 15 and a half, it would have been summer 09, probably, or something like that. Gonna have my last 1 ounce pour Princess on Monday for my birthday, speaking of the buff turkey. Nice, nice. Sarah would love to. Guys, Tim just commented on the live stream and said, I'm literally tech savvy illiterate. Take savvy out of the sentence, Tim. Just say you're tech illiterate. That's funny. Tim, I'm glad you're here, man. Mr. Kaplan. Back for more, I see. In for 4 more. So you now have 20 entries, bro. Okay, J-Caps. Cam, what's the word on the NDP startup? How's the name RJ's mom sound? Listen, great name. Not going to work. We're still in a holding pattern on that. I don't have Bowman Cask Strength Batch 3 here with me. I've only had samples of that. You're wearing the wrong hat while explaining that. Okay, all right. Have you tried the 26 Maker Stewards release yet? No, I didn't even know it was out. I'm not even sure that it is out. I haven't seen anything about it yet. I gotta get to these Venmos, guys. All right, here's the deal. We're gonna shut the Venmo Super Chats down. I gotta go close the Google form now. It's about to close. Ready, set, gone. All right, done on that. So we have 54 entries, it looks like. That's awesome. We had some people enter that are in the Patreon, so we're gonna have to kick those entries out. That's gonna be a task in and of itself, I guess. I'll just spin it. I'll let it run, and if a Patreon member wins it, I'll just roll down to the next person. That's the best way to do it, instead of trying to audit everything. And then we're going to shut the other giveaway entries down for the Super Chats at 11:35, so that's like 2.5 minutes from now. Again, the winners tonight, 2 winners for that. You get a half bottle each of 149 proof, short barrel, Barton 13-year bourbon called Hot Chocolate. It's absolutely insane. Probably the best barrel I've ever picked. These are going to be custom labeled. Labels come in tomorrow. Get these things stickered, get the tops heat shrink, shrink wrapped onto the tops. Pack these up, get these out. And that's it. So those are the giveaway entries. I'm also going to throw a sample of this into those as well. The other short barrel, 148 proof. So you can do the side by side. There you go. So 2 winners for that, and then 2 winners for the giveaway I just closed down, which was the free one for the Dark Arts Calvados. Do another sip of this Bowman Cask Strength 5. Okay. I will say, the second sip of the Bowman is much better than the first. I mean, the first was so ethanol forward. So now that I feel like I'm in this profile mode, it's a thinner profile. It's a more ethanol forward profile. There's not as much flavor and body to this. But now that I'm in that realm, let me kind of go through very quickly now and taste these other 2. So I just had batch 5. Let me taste batch 4 now, which is a little higher proof. Okay. Batch 5 is better. Batch 4 to me, it's just as thin, but there's no fruit to support it. It's mostly that honey and vanilla with a teeny bit of fruit in there. It's like the most, just imagine Buffalo Trace, straight up Buffalo Trace, proofed up to 139 or whatever this is. Yeah, 139.7. Proof Buffalo Trace up to 139. The same honey profile, the same very, very light fruit in there, vanilla, and then thin it out. Reduce it by 30% of its actual flavor. That's the Bowman Batch 4. Not a fan. Excuse me. What's up, RJ? Batch 5, because it has a little more cola, because it has a little more fruit, dry fruit, it's the winner. I think the fact that it's a lower proof, even just like 2.5 points, helps it. Would I ever reach for this bottle? Not even close. At $100, if I bought this for SRP, would I reach for this bottle? No. But that's coming from, somebody that has a lot of options because of the channel. I've got a lot of bottles in here. If you had 30 bottles and this is like your highest proof bottle, you found it at SRP, you're really excited about it, it might be a different story because maybe you don't have another bourbon that's going to scratch that itch of near hazmat proof, super intense, you know what I mean? At SRP, I think it's a fine buy in that case. But secondary right now for this is like $500 or $600, I think. It should drop down to like $350 like the other ones in due time once it hits all these markets. At that point, I would definitely not be buying this at secondary, even at that $350 price point. It's just not for me. How do you get a $5 credit for $4.99? Stop. I think it's different on mobile and on desktop is the reason for that. So yeah, we're gonna close the entries down now. No more super chat entries on Venmo, PayPal, or in the live chat. So thank you guys. I'll grab the last 2 live chat entries before I catch up on all the Venmos here. So Lee Wilmoth in for 4 entries. Said finally made it to the chat just under the wire. Thank you, Lee. Glad you made it. And then Mr. Sam Thorner is in for 1 more. Said 1 last entry for luck. Spoiler. Joe, good to see you, man. Aquaman emailed pics of the receipts. Okay. Okay, hang on. Man, that's weird, huh? That is so weird. All right, Josh. I'm going to give you the entries, man. I mean, this is pretty cut and dry here. These charges went through. Yeah. All right. So, Josh, you're going to get 8 entries. Throw it in there. Sorry about that, man. Yeah, that's so weird. I'm going to have to look this up after the stream and see what I can find about this. Yeah. All right. Don't worry, man. I got you. All right. Let's get back to the Venmo Super Chats. If I win, I probably won't be able to figure out the info to have him send it to me anyway. No, dude, I'm just going to email you and ask you for your address, and then they're going to show up at your door. Okay? Tim. Oh, God, Tim, this is funny. All right, let me take a sip of GTS 25. After these other 2. Yeah, it's better. For sure better. All right, Aaron Trondle in for 4 says welcome back, guys. I'm gonna breeze through these. Sorry, Chris Marshall in for 2. Bourbon Doctor, gotcha. Ashton, what's up, dude? In for 1. Hey, Campus PSA. 2019 Four Roses is a top 10 bottle ever for me, and I feel like its greatness is finally starting to be forgotten. I had that in a blind tasting in the last couple months. Ashton, I don't know if you're still here, but my buddy Justin sent me a sample of that, and I loved it in a blind tasting. I agree with you, man. I don't know that I would go top 10 ever, but also I tasted it totally blind. Maybe the context would help me, but I really enjoyed it. Yeah, that's cool, man. And Ashton has some very expensive stuff, so that's great to hear. Adam K says super chat wink wink. Thank you, man. Got you in for 9. Christopher Miller is in for 2, says super chat. Thank you, Christopher. Mr. Al Malone. Actually, we're almost at the bottom, guys. Let's see if I can power through this real quick. Al Maloney is in for 5, says, hey, you never know. Thank you, man. Kyle R in for 2 with a little hot chocolate emoji. Lawrence, Team Vanilla, is in for 5, said, yes, you did just get a name drop. He said, don't read it aloud. Yeah, that was the name. Guy, thank you for the $5 super chat, man. Said, cheers, man. Great to see you back. No need to enter me in this one. Just showing support. Guy, thank you. I will, I'll put you in there, but we'll just roll down to the next person. How about that? Calvin Brennan. Guys, we have 3 more left on this. This is great. I'll check PayPal, but we should only have 1 or 2 over there. Calvin says, G-word entries. Thank you, Calvin. Lawrence back with some more for Team Vanilla. In for 5, said, drink water. P.S. Congrats. Enjoy your sister's wedding. It's weird that my sister's getting married. I'll tell you that. And then Mr. J-Div himself, Joe Doherty, in for 5, said, piquancy. Thanks, Joe. It's funny. Okay. Cam, my boy Nick entered Venmo at the beginning of the stream. Not sure if you caught it. Jeb, were you messing with me, dude? I haven't checked my personal Venmo. That was all from the business Venmo. So let's see. Oh, there's $50 on my personal Venmo, so maybe somebody sent it there. Maybe that's what it is. All right, so real quick, Bowman cask batch 5 versus George T. Stagg 25. The Bowman is just so much thinner, which is crazy because GTS 25 is also very thin. The GTS is better. I'd say by like 30%. Then the Bowman Cask 5, then the Bowman Cask 4. Yeah, it's these Bowmans are not my profile. All right, 25D, we're going to do it. Jeb said, I'm not messing. Okay. Oh, yeah, Jeb, I got Nick. Nick Ryerson. Yeah, I got him in for 2. He said, Big Nick energy. No, I got it, Jeb. I'm glad that was not a mistake. Adam, bro, the entries. All right, I'm going to add Adam because he sent $50, but Adam, stop it. Stop it. He said, docs Austin Moore. Good Lord. I got to get Stagg 25D. There we go. 25D. No more super chats, please. We gotta put a ribbon on this thing here. Just sent a Venmo. No more super chats, please. Please. Taste Single Barrel King of Kentucky. Listen, my 2025 is bad, so I don't want to taste that. I have another one back here that I think is a 2021. I don't have a tube for it. I got it from my buddy. He sent it to me open. So I don't even know what year it is. It's good, but I don't know that there's a point right now. Lose the banner. Good. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Daniel. Gonna be here all night. And 24D. No, Frankie, just 25D. Just 25D. All right. We'll go to PayPal real quick after we get Nathan in here. Nathan, thank you. Nathan S. I'm imagining that's 312 Scooter. Is in for 2. Okay. We'll check the PayPals. Let me smell 25D, which is 129.2 proof. So we are dropping down 15 proof points or 13 proof points from this GTS. Wow, nothing in this PayPal. That's great. That's the personal one. Let's go to the business one. There's a little bit in here from Matt Cochran. Okay. Matt Cochran in for 4 entries. Thank you, Matt. Austin, don't forget the Willet sample to end the night. Thank you, Austin. And I will add you in for that. You guys are killing me. All right, I got you in. One more entry. Is it? All right, hang on. Stagg 25D does smell good. But I'm also smelling all these like thin, hot bourbons. I like it more than Bowman 4. I like it equally as Bowman 5 in different ways. And I probably like the GTS a little bit more. But let's see. All right, let's go on the palate, 25D, 129.2 proof. It's a thicker whiskey than the George T. Stagg. And definitely thicker than both of the Bowmans. But It doesn't quite have the oak presence of the George T. Stagg. Yeah. I think it's better than this Bowman, even batch 5. But it does taste younger, so I don't know. I guess maybe I need to retaste like all the 2025 Stagg batches, and maybe this time not blind and just see kind of how it shakes out. Do I think that 25D is a whiskey right now that's worth freaking out over and, you know, chasing after? No, I mean, I would buy any Stagg batch at SRP for sure. Would I pay over for this batch in particular? I don't know. Silverback 69. Good evening. How is everyone? That's what a name. Austin's right. 25D is the only one worth revisiting. I think in my blind, I think 25C won. But I'm never confident in my Stagg blinds. Things start to run together, you know? All right, let's see. Let's knock out these giveaways now, guys. So here's what I'm going to do. Put this down here for now. I'm going to pull up the spreadsheet from the free giveaway, which is the Dark Arts giveaway. So I've got the spreadsheet. I'm going to sort names now. I'm just very quickly looking for duplicate entries. There's actually not that many entries. Cool. So no duplicates. So I'm going to plug these names into random.org and share my screen. We're going to spin it 7 times, and the top name, assuming it's not a Patreon member, is going to be winning this giveaway. And then I'll send them an email. You can send me your mailing address after I send you that email, and then that bottle will arrive next week sometime. Okay. So I'm going to share this screen. Oh, wait, did Tim make it in? Yes, Tim made it in. There are 2 Tims. Tim made it in. For anybody wondering, Tim is in the entries. All right. Add to screen. This is random.org. Go to the list randomizer. We're going to put these in here from Tim right there all the way up to Jamie. The reason Jamie's at the top of the list is there was a space here. So when I sorted it alphabetically, put them at the top. All right. 7 spins. Top winner gets it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Tim, did you win? Oh, it didn't go. Hang on. Here's 7. Brandon Smith. But Brandon, are you in the Patreon? Hang on. Hang on. What are we doing? What are we doing, Brandon? Brandon's in the Patreon. So who's next? Who was next in the list? Mike Albin. I do not think Mike Albin is in the Patreon. And Mike, if you are, I'm sorry. But I don't think I know your name. No. All right. Mike Albin is the winner. I'll put that back on the screen. You guys can see it. Brandon at the top. Then we got Mike. Mike is the winner. I'm going to write this down right now on my phone so I don't forget. I wanted to make sure that was the Brandon Smith I know. I wanted to make sure. And I would believe that it is. So we're going to go giveaway winner for this is Mike Albin and Chase Proudfit. There's 2 winners. Our Brandon Smith is somewhat intelligent. I guess I can check emails. Hang on. I can check emails. Let me look. And a BK of Balsa. All right. Hang on, guys. We gotta go through this real quick just to make sure I'm doing this right. No, it's Patreon Brandon. It's Patreon Brandon. So we are rolling down to Mike Albin and then Chase Proudfit. Is Proudfit a real last name? Let me check the old spreadsheet here. That's a real last name. The email address matches and everything. So we got Chase and we got Mike. We got Chase and Mike. And Mike A. Winners for the Dark Arts, Calvados, and sample of the Nanny Raspberry Short Barrel. Congrats, guys. And now we're going to do the giveaway for the 2 half bottles of hot chocolate. No, everyone wanted Tim to win. Bandon. That's funny. All right. I'm going to take another sip of Stagg 25D. All right. Yeah, 25D is good. It does feel very dark and oaky, which I like. And I feel like people said the same thing about 24D, that it came in dark and oaky at the end of the year. Let me take this down, the screen down. Let me very quickly grab the list of... thank you, Dustin K, for jumping in the Patreon. Appreciate that. Shameless plug. Check out the Patreon. Link in the description. $5 or $10 a month. We have a very big drop of barrels tomorrow. If you join... the info email, it's kind of a thing. If you join tonight, you have to get into the Discord for tomorrow's drop. I'll be around tomorrow monitoring messages throughout the day. I can help you out. But the info email with the link for tomorrow's drop already went out. I send the link a day ahead of time. And then tomorrow in Patreon, you just get the password. Because Patreon does not like links to buying bourbon. They will ban you for that. So I send you the link today. Tomorrow, you get the password. If you join between now and tomorrow, you need to get in the Discord because the link is also in there. Or you need to email me after you join and say, hey, I joined, where's the link? Then I can send it to you. All right. Okay, so... weird. So from Dustin K all the way down to Matt Cochran. Have I missed anybody? There's Nathan S. I missed Jason Zell, who got in at the last minute. Jason Zell, thank you, bro. We were closed for business, but I'm about to spin it. And I saw your thing here, so in for 10. Jason, thank you. Cheers. Thanks for this great sample pack. Let's see if you win another one, Jason. But thank you for the super chat. There you go. All right. So from Dustin K all the way down, we're going to run this 7 times like the other one to Jason Zell. List randomizer. We're going to go here, and I'm going to share my screen. We're going to paste everything in here. So Jason Zell all the way up. These are all your entries from all the super chats to Dustin K, 2 entries. This is a lot of entries. We're spin it 7 times. 1. Jeez. 2. 3. Hang on, here's 3. There you go. 3, 4, 5, 6. No duplicate winners. Top 2, 7. Nope. It didn't take again. Here we go. 7. And I'll prove it to you. It says 7 here. To the top, who do we have? Adam H. and Michael Phelps. Adam H. and Michael Phelps. Congrats, you guys. I will reach out to you with info. Let me take a picture of this. You got the half bottles of hot chocolate with the sample of the Nanny Raspberry Short Barrel as well. Here we go. Thank you, guys. Tim mailed you cash. Guys, take it easy on Tim. I feel like Tim is a really nice guy. I feel like you guys are being unnecessarily mean to Tim. Some of it is funny, admittedly, but some of it, you know, I'm on Tim's team right now. I'm on Tim time. Willet time. Let's do it. Let's have some 27-year Willet to close the night out. I hope this sample has not gotten tainted over the last 2 years. I think I've had it for like 2 years at this point. Send Tim the test. All right, let's see. I'll take the lovely parting gift for 3rd and 5th place, says Mike. Curtis, congrats. Thank you, guys. Tim just has technical difficulty. You guys are assholes. Tim is probably a great dude. This is how you congratulate me, says Adam. Adam, it's not you, dude. Go take care of your new child, Adam. Go take care of your new child. And good God Almighty, 27-year Willet. All right, I've had like no water tonight. Just send Tim some samples. Let me write this down. Next up, real G word was Adam H. and Michael Phelps. Email Tim and send stuff. Tim, it's written down. We just want to send Tim some stuff, says Joe. Exactly. All right, hang on. Before I taste this Willet, I do have to satisfy my curiosity. I'm going to pour Stagg 25C, which I do think is the one that won my blind this year. Yeah. I think it won my blind. I'm going to pour this next to 25D and see what's going on between these two. So, Stone Cold Steve, man. Come on. That's a low blow. That's a low blow. Dude, Tim seems like a good guy. Cam types into phone. Make sure you send samples to Biff and Bob sometime before my next live stream in June. Oh, Joe. Joe, come to Backbone, April 13th. It's a Monday. You want to go? Okay, so let's do this real quick. Before the Willet, which smells stupid. Stagg 25C and 25D. Okay. Yeah, James, we're doing another Backbone pick. There is a new lot of barrels there that we really need to check out. All right, so 25C, I think this one, it's 125.6. Okay. Not feeling convinced that that should have won this blind. 25D. Yeah, that's better. By a lot. All right. Yeah. Get 25D. If you get any of these, get 25D, I guess. Well, now I'm curious. Hang on. I don't think I have a 24D. I think I got a sample of 24D. So I was gonna pour 24D right now and compare it to 25D, but I don't think I have it. So we can let that go. 25D definitely beats 25C though. Are you gonna pick another Irish whiskey? The last one was so good. We just did another one a couple months ago, and I mean I would gladly pick another one already, but I don't know that. We would just have to see what Nolan has. Yeah. I'm not ruling anything out with Backbone. I'm not going to do another sherry finish. I can say that. But anything else, I'm not going to rule out. Because he has some crazy barrels. 22A is the last batch I backed up. What's your most recent favorite? Also 22A. Yeah, that's mine. But now as I smell them, there's something about 25C that's kind of nice, you know? There's like a toasted oak note. It's just thinner. That's the thing. It's lower proof and thinner. But I think I like the profile a lot. 25D, higher proof. It's a little drier. A little more like, yeah, closed off, I guess. But you can tell that there's darker notes here. And it does drink fuller. So, yeah, 25D. I can see it. Let's go to the Willet. I would love to put like this 25D against 22A against batch 18. Batch 12. I'd like to do that side by side. 12, 18, 22A, 25D. I think that would be a good blind. I'm not doing the whole 25 stags right now. We're almost 3 hours in. I'm you know, I can still make sentences happen, but I'm definitely feeling it. I need to be functional tomorrow to some degree. I heard 22B was top 2 stag ever. 22B, God, I gotta remember this one. It was either 22B or 23B that was the one that had like the watermelon Jolly Rancher candy note. I don't know if it was 22 or 23 though. But I just know for myself, 22A was my favorite batch in the last 4 years. Mash and Drum says so too. Jason and I usually agree on, actually, like, we'll agree on quite a bit. Not everything. There are definitely things we disagree on as far as like profiles, but if he said 22B, I'm sure he had a reason for saying it. And it was probably one of those things that he and I, you know, would disagree on profile-wise. 23B was the off-profile grassy one. See, if that's the one I'm thinking of, then I got like watermelon on that. 22B is a cola bomb. Man. This is the thing about the Staggs. It's like, look at the chat right now. 22B. I love 22B. I love 23A. I love 23B. You know, or no, that was the off profile, but like everybody's opinion on Stagg, the point I want to make is that everybody's opinion on Stagg is so different. There's no like universal favorite Stagg, which to me means that none of them are great. It means that everything is just like different, and there's not like a standout, I guess. But the standout in everybody else's mind, if you go back, is batch 12. And before that, people say batch 6, batch 9, batch 11. I'm not familiar with those. But batch 12 is a standout we can all agree on. 22A is mine, but I see people saying B, 23A, 24A. Because there's no consensus, I just feel like there's not that like special batch unless there's a consensus. You know? And that to me means that Stagg is probably kind of fallen off, which I think is the case. Curious if Blade and Bow 30 will be better than this, will it? No, I don't think so. I mean, from an aged oak perspective, in its own way, yes. Blade and Bow 30 is unlike anything else on the market. But this Willet 27 is pretty amazing. Batch 12 is universally liked. No one hates that one. Top 3, if not fave, yeah. But there's no other real consensus, which is kind of crazy. Joe, yeah. There's definitely not a C923 or Stagg after 2020. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. All right. Willet, 27-year, 132.6. Thank you, Brooks, for sending this. I don't think Brooks is watching, but it's kind of crazy that, you know, there are two Brooks. There's Brooks Reed and Brooks Raley. Brooks Reed, ex-NFL player. Brooks Raley, current MLB player for the Mets. It's crazy when guys like that are involved in the whiskey thing, you know? And Brooks Reed sent me these 4 Willet samples. There was like a 6, 11, 15, and 27 year, I think, in the flight he sent me like a year or two ago. And it's just crazy. You know, you watch guys like that on TV, and then they're like into whiskey and they're sending you samples. It's a really cool thing. And that's kind of a testament, I think, to the communal aspect of this whole, you know, thing that we're doing here. I mean, you know. Let's see. That's the only one I have open. I'm trying to get like a comparison for this, which it doesn't really need, but I have a little bit of Oakley 136 left. So let's do this. Guys, thank you for being here tonight. Appreciate it, you know, with all the ups and downs and all that kind of crap. Appreciate you being here. Okay, so I've got the Willet 132, what was it, 0.6? Yeah, 0.6. This is a 136 proof 20-year Oakley. So both of these are going to be from Bernheim, from my understanding. Colors, basically identical. The Willet is more heavily filtered. The Oakley has more cloudy, you know, kind of char in there. Yeah, this is my last 136 Oakley. My backup on my shelf is a 134, which I love. And I do regret getting rid of my other backups of this. I don't know why I did that. So yeah, 27 year versus 20. That's crazy. It's crazy when A 20-year Heaven Hill that's one of the like best things I've ever tasted smells young because it's put next to something that's 7 years older. Wow. It makes 20-year Oakley smell fruity, like really fruity, and like there's not a lot of oak. Still the crazy tobacco funk that this barrel has. That's why I love this barrel so much. And it drinks amazingly. So intense. FMM whiskey, as Austin wanted me to describe earlier. Thank you, Austin. I can't believe I got rid of those. But now to this 27-year Willet, which is fudgy, way oakier. It's like, it's going to sound so douchey. I don't even know what this smells like, but it sounds like the right tasting note. Mahogany furniture. I'm just going to say mahogany furniture. I don't even know. And the sample is dying. The sample has gone a little flat, and it has a teeny bit of sample taint. So this sitting in here for like 2 years, there's a tinge of that plastic note, but you can still taste the whiskey like 85% of the way. It's incredible. You really like, yeah. So that's it. Leather-bound books. Yes, leather-bound books. Let's go, Jesse. Rich mahogany. Oh, so good. Dude, I don't know what... Listen, Slad, I would love to send you these samples from Zach and have you taste the taint. And that's going to do it tonight. Clip it. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you. 3-hour stream. Saturation level, 78%. Pretty high, but not the worst. I can still make sentences happen. I like scotch. Scotch. And that's going to do it. Too bad Cam doesn't give us Scotch Sundays. I'll see you guys in the Discord tonight. I'll hang out while I clean up. Thank you for being here. Thanks for the super chats, all the support, and still being here for the channel after all the, roller coaster stuff. Cheers.